Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
What atmosphere out here. Battle of the elements. Love this team. How about the defense? Love each and every one of them, man. Pats are back, baby. We got to go win one.
Darnold to throw. Back. Hit. Throws. End zone. Touchdown. Jake Bobo. 8 seconds left. Loading up near side to Pooh. Is he out of bounds?
Oh, my God.
3 seconds. We're going to run the clock. That's going to do it. The Seahawks soar to Super Bowl 60.
Fred still dribbles out top. Here's Petrie. Hands to Prince. Prince down the lane. Spins. Puts it up. That was not good. Rebound.
Great
Petrie at
rebound.
the buzzer. It's in. Petrie beats the buzzer on a putback. And 24th ranked Nebraska goes to halftime, leading Illinois 41-23.
48-44, Nebraska up by 4 points after the 2-point break by Tyson with the Hoiberg up top, left side in the midcourt. Starts in, kicks out, left corner, Jamarcus, got it! Splash! Bang-a-ring on the road for Jamarcus Lawrence, and the Huskers are now up 51-44, their biggest lead of the game.
Fix it! Wake up! We're lucky to be down 2 possessions right now. All right, get back to being us. Be us.
The best story in college basketball marches on. Down 6 at halftime, no problem. They find a way. Outscoring Minnesota 46-21 in the second half and win convincingly 76-57. 24 consecutive wins dating back to last season. Top of the second longest winning streak in the Big Ten by any Big Ten team in nearly 30 years.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mayo Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing good. How are you?
No, we're good.
I'm in a good mood this morning.
I am not.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Come on, man.
Come on. He said we took turns kind of lighting them up as a staff. I wonder what getting lit up by what Coach Hoiberg standards is.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because he seems so.
I know, like
he
I've
seems
spent
so
time
like,
with
Coach
Nate, so I know what he's like.
You know what that one looks like?
Yeah. The Big Easy. I wonder if he got loose.
You think so?
I don't know. He doesn't come across like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen his kid yell either.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they seem pretty like even keel.
Chill.
Same with Fred. Like Fred doesn't. I'm sure he can.
Operation Chill Mode D.
But Fred doesn't look like a guy that's.
Nice.
I kind of appreciate that about Fred. I wasn't a big yeller as a coach.
He's pretty easy going. It's just weird. So a lot of times this happens in like either text conversations or back and forth where you'll go to bed feeling a certain way about something.
Yeah.
And you'll go back and double check just to see, like,
make sure you weren't crazy.
Is it like, did this really happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, a lot, especially like things will get emotional.
Yeah.
People won't respond or whatever. Like, so I had one of those this morning.
Okay.
Is Mike McCarthy really the Steelers head coach? Like, you have you done that though, where you go back and you want to check, like, did that guy really shoot 11 of 13?
Yep.
Did such and such really say that?
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute.
Kind of have to like slap yourself a little bit, like that.
Did you just blow me off for 5 hours? Like, and you think something happened, right?
Yeah.
Is Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
So you want the funniest thing of that whole deal?
What's that?
We're in this intense conversation, basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Jacob's up or not. I assume he is because it's the middle of the day on a Saturday.
Yeah. He was, I think, covering Creighton women.
So
I think that's
all
where
the conversations going on. This dude drops in and says, "Enjoy McCarthy, DB."
As a Packers fan, I think that hit real close to home with him.
Where you been all the other 59,000 conversations we were having up until that point? Enjoy Mike McCarthy, DB. It was not a good. So this weekend would have been a great put the phone down weekend.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it started on Friday, but
Yeah.
like
What happened?
it's like, where you been? Where you been, young Jacob?
Well, you just had to drop in, get some info.
And why is he so unkind?
He was no, he was talking to me last night. We had a good conversation.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. The pronouns are different. You, me, him.
Well, it was in the group.
Was you.
It was in the group chat
because he finally felt like you could be involved with the Australian Open.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I gave TK a free winner this weekend.
Yeah.
I also gave him a loser. What are you gonna do? I told him it was a long shot though. I said, hey, little flyer one if you want to if you want some long odds that might pay.
I think my buddy split this weekend. I didn't talk to him. He all of a sudden fast forward to March Madness because he knows I have to get him lunch, and he's like,
oh, he's doing like futures and stuff or what?
No, he was like, hey man, we're gonna have to watch March Madness together.
Oh, okay.
I was like, how do we fast forward to that?
Yeah,
we're
still
just talking about wrestling.
We're still in January, fam.
No, so I think he split. No, he might have won both.
Do I know him?
Degenerate. No, I don't know if you know him.
Okay.
But I talk about him all the time.
No, yeah, I'm familiar. I don't know him, but
I don't know. I think he split Iowa and Ohio State.
Oh, with the duels.
Yeah.
With the the meets.
My man is not, and I repeat, not an AJ Ferrari fan.
Yeah.
Oh, he tries. He's the opposite of this guy.
This personality-wise.
Yeah, super low key. I mean, yeah, they couldn't be more opposite.
I
thought Manning's presser was telling.
Yeah.
You can tell he cheers for him. I mean, he closed out with, I'd rather have him. Hey, what do you think of AJ's performance?
Pressing.
Oh, he's got a lot left in there. A lot more in there. I was like, very good. He walked off with the whole, I'd rather have him on our team than that. That's what you get. He's going to be scrutinized every performance.
Yeah, I think with everything that goes on with AJ Ferrari, I think maybe Husker fans are like, yeah, I'd like it to be going better.
Yeah.
With the extra stuff, know?
You're just hoping it kind of.
Yeah, you're hoping
that would have been a huge win.
I mean, either one.
Ohio State was favored.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught quite a bit, like 13.5 point favorites.
I mean, they were, I don't know.
They were on a heater.
Well, they're second in the country. Like they're doing well, obviously. But
wait, is Mike McCarthy really the Steelers head coach?
Yeah, let me check for you real
Get
quick.
a word.
Just make sure.
So I got a new debit card.
Oh, I got mine like a couple days ago too.
So I guess apparently you have to start over because well, the card number's the same.
No, sorry,
I could see that.
This one?
Yeah. I can just see the FUCK.
It's a Steelers to their fans after hiring McCarthy. Bleep you, Steelers Nation.
Yeah, that's not nice. It must be nice to have Twitter. How's that going?
It's it's
very good.
Actually, still pretty much a dumpster fire on here. Like it's.
So I was trying to get the TV set up for Zoe this morning. Right? She switches her series.
Yeah.
So
she's not on Blue anymore.
No, she moved off of Blue like
a little bit a while ago.
That was like probably 3 shows ago.
Oh, okay.
She went through a Gravity Falls deal, and then
I don't know that one.
Big City Greens.
Don't know that one.
And then so now it's Loud House. But anyway, can't connect Wi-Fi. Can't connect.
Oh, your Wi-Fi was down.
And I'm like, shoot, man, Cox must know I'm trying to kick their rear ends to the curb. I'm doing all this T-Mobile. I'm doing all this homework. I'm waiting for somebody to just come off the top rope and be like, yeah, it works for me because they just laid all the
fiber. Yeah.
And the ground's too firm, so the
Can't
floors
dig.
aren't even buried yet.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, just left T-Mobile with Micah like 15 times this weekend. Back there Saturday because he's not old enough to not have the security thing shut off to go get his old phone or whatever. So
yeah.
We had to go do that. And can't connect. So I called Cox. They'll have a past due amount of $413. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, apparently you should let them know that you have
you got the new card.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's weird. Usually, that's weird.
And how about you just call a brother? Just be like, hey,
what's up?
Yeah.
We see you normally pay like no problem. What's going on here?
So woke up to that debacle. So, and then I'm here. And guess what I have to put up with?
Me?
Mike McCarthy.
Oh.
Wait, is he still a Steelers head coach?
Yeah, I double-checked. It's not going well.
It's not fair. Have you not done that, though?
No, I 100%
You wake up
have.
the next day and you're like,
Did that really happen?
is that how that went down?
Yeah. There's been – so –
It's more apt to change with how you gauged a text conversation or misread a box score than it is an actual hiring.
Yep.
Because usually an actual hiring is like there's no feelings involved. Like that's pretty factual.
Yeah, like that's like this is the thing that happened. There's reports. You know what's worse? The worst one for me.
Enjoy Mike McCarthy, DB. Thank you, Jacob.
He's cold-blooded, in and out.
Is he coming today to do the Blue Jay recap?
No, that's Thursdays.
Okay, because I want to have some speaks.
Yeah. Can I have some words?
Yeah, and I was going to say something nice about his sons. Like they can't even get rid of those expiring contracts because they're actually winning.
I think he planned that out timing wise to not be here for the first couple of days.
Just plopped on
Just
in with
shivving
the
out.
whole enjoy Mike McCarthy.
No, the worst one I've ever done that with, and I still do it sometimes because it doesn't feel real. We talked about it the other day. The 22 Warriors title, like sometimes I have to go back to they really win one. They really win that fourth one.
You do conveniently gloss over that when you want to whine about their front office.
No, their front office is atrocious. It's horrifying.
I got a lot of questions.
Like here's the thing, and I'm going to bring it around to Nebraska basketball here. Is Tim Miles got a lot of leeway for Turan Petaway being on a heater for 2 months?
Yeah,
that's what happened. Like Jordan Poole got on a heater for 3 months, and I'm supposed to say that the front office isn't trash.
So something was wrong with TikTok, and maybe I don't know what it was, and maybe I shouldn't have been on TikTok at 4 a.m, Saturday morning, or Friday night, or whatever that was. But
probably shouldn't be on the phone at all at 4
Well,
in the
like
morning,
something was wrong with the server, so I don't know. Like I couldn't. It was all sorts of screwed up. I don't know if they were resetting something or
on TikTok.
The
well, it's because they got sold. So I think there's like a transition period. It was probably in the middle of the night because I didn't think anybody would be on. If I had to guess. Got him. I love it when I get the off mic Shane laugh.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like
that's totally on me.
It's like 4:10, and I'm like pissed at the free world. And I see this Jordan Poole is at he's going to see these little kids at a class.
Yeah.
And he's a Pelican, obviously, but so he's in New Orleans, and one of the kids asked him who his favorite player was the best player that he played with at Golden State.
Oh, I saw this.
And the dude starts waxing poetic about like Looney.
Yeah, he goes, "Come on, Looney." And then he goes,
he finally gets around
Steph.
to Curry, right?
And it's like,
and the little dude was like, "What about Draymond?" It's like, yeah, that dude socked me in the face at practice.
No, he straight up goes, "What was it like when Draymond punched you?" I was like, that kid's a savage. I like that kid.
I don't even know why that was on my time. I can't stand Jordan Poole.
I can't either, as you know. That was hilarious. I was like, listen, it should never take you that long to get to Steph, number one. Number two, the kid had the biggest stones in the world. Just be like,
I mean,
what was it like getting punched by Draymond?
This huge marbles, man. But so which aged you more this weekend?
Ooh, okay.
Derrick Rose celebration banner deal.
Okay.
It seems like 2011, 2012, Derrick Rose wasn't that far long ago, right?
It's like 15 years ago. It's been a minute.
Or Trey Burke getting his jersey is hung in the rafters at Michigan. Wasn't he just putting it on Louisville, trying to get back in the game?
What was that, 2012?
Dude, like,
2013?
Old? Yes.
Yeah, we're old. Like everything that
TB's getting his jersey retired.
Everything that happened, dude. Don't like. Speaking of the Warriors and Curry, like my prime Curry years were a decade ago now. You know how I feel about that? I feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Like the whole. I mean, it feels like Jim Harbaugh was the 49ers coach like 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's 3 stops ago now.
And the least surprising news ever, he still has his OC, right?
Yes, believe so.
Cleveland's still looking for a coach?
They sure are.
I have another question.
Okay, I'm listening. They're going to end up with like Udinsky, by the way.
And it's good to see everybody in the group. I don't get on DeMarinis a ton because he's pretty measured.
Yeah. Well, sometimes there are like
Was
three
he
things.
was he not the one that finally said? And I'm watching West Side Hoops, so I kind of got one eye on, one eye out, and he goes, "Illinois might be for real this year." Was that DeMarinis?
He goes, "They're scary." He said, "Scary."
And in my head, I'm like,
he said they might actually be scary this year, and not just because everybody tells us they are.
well, I think 3 out of these 4 years, I got to be right on one of them, don't I?
No, you don't. You go for 4.
I have a question though.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is weird. Is Trey Kaufman-Renn good?
You asked me the same question last year.
What do Purdue fans think about his game?
I'm not a huge fan personally.
Remember what like the scuttlebutt that because with Bryce and last year, and
he
should he
averaging
be
this
all
year?
Big Ten last year, and he was their second leading, and everybody made excuses for him getting buckets.
Yeah. For Bryce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, for Trae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he good?
I don't love his game. Like when I watch it, I'm always a little surprised by what he ends up with because it doesn't feel like he's having that much impact.
I was cheering my brains out for Illinois, and it wasn't because I want to be right.
Are you sure?
No, Nebraska has a huge week.
That's true. And
with Michigan and Illinois.
Illinois being good, like that win, even if they end up splitting with Illinois, that's a huge win for Nebraska.
Oh, don't you start pee-pee tucking.
I'm not. Listen, I've been this.
We got 6 days to go before you pee-pee tuck.
I've been doing this all along. They
won in Champaign. No.
I have no idea when a loss is coming.
Well, apparently it's at the Chrysler.
Yeah, what are they, double-digit dogs?
I think that's the look ahead.
Somebody said 11.5 in the chat. That's bonkers.
I saw 10.
Nebraska shouldn't be double-digit dogs
hoops,
against
so
anybody.
unless you're getting it offshore, how would you know already? So it might be a look ahead.
I think a couple domestic books have. Like I think DraftKings.
Domestics, that's cute.
Well, local.
Domestic books, as opposed to what?
As opposed to offshore.
Oh,
you said offshore, so I
so
like
is
domestic.
offshore the anti-domestic?
In this sense, yeah. I mean, international would technically be the anti-domestic, generally speaking.
I don't know. I just liked that it just freely came off your lips, like good water.
Domestic, like domicile, right here at home,
glistening all over your body.
I think DraftKings does look aheads.
Yeah,
on basketball.
10's a lot.
Yeah, Nebraska shouldn't be double-digit dogs against anybody in the country. Like, what are we talking about here?
Wait, how upset were you that you could have got an easy $20 back?
Not that upset.
Shoot, I might have to cash in for my Wi-Fi bill.
This was my process over results weekend.
And how about you trying to strong arm me? Do you have any shame?
No, not at all. 0. I mean, I was kidding at the end of the game. With the lines at the end of the game.
Shane, did you watch Nebraska basketball Saturday?
No.
I listened to it.
So Nebraska was up 6.
Okay. Is that
they were up 6 in the first half. It was 18-12.
Yeah, it was like 14 minutes left in the game.
And
in the first half.
I said to Ravi, I go, hey, $20. I'll take Minnesota plus the 5. Nope. This dude goes, Nebraska, I'll take Nebraska minus the 3. And I was like, oh, that's lower than the opening line. Like, I don't want to do that. So
my reasoning was good, though, you have to admit.
So I was like, God, at some point, Minnesota has to start making these open threes.
And they did.
And like over the next 4 minutes, they proceeded to make
made like 6
7 of them.
Yeah, they were cashing.
But it still didn't feel right. And I was like, man, I've seen this Minnesota team before.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what they do. They cannot close. You know what I should have done if I was really on my game?
What's that?
I should have flipped it since I knew that Minnesota would fold in the second half. I texted you guys.
Yeah.
That they would fold.
You did. You did. I've seen this game 5 times they've played. In the last 10 minutes, they're going to collapse.
Yeah.
Like, that's word for word.
Yeah. And I said last week, like, Minnesota just goes through these weird scoring droughts.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to score?
I mean, they went 0 for 11 in the second half from 3. Is that right?
And the line, it was like 5.5?
Going in?
I thought the line was right.
Going into the game? Yeah, I thought so.
Right? Like, it wasn't.
No, I thought it was. I didn't have a problem with the line.
People weren't like, ooh, hammer blank.
No,
like they will. Excuse me, against Michigan.
Yeah,
and I think that line is right.
You think that one's right?
I think it's. I would like. I'd make it Michigan 9.
It's a little heavy for me. Yeah, I'd probably be. I wouldn't quibble on 9. I was
like
thinking.
Now, if you tell me Frager's playing, I would make it 6.
Yeah, I was gonna split the difference and be like 7.5, 8.5, somewhere in there.
So
not a huge difference, but I think if it actually is 11.5, that's heavy.
I got lots and lots and lots of questions. I hate jumping in randomly in this first hour, but it wouldn't give our content team justice if they didn't have to fly by the seat of their pants without a break.
What do you want to jump into?
Is Alabama good?
I've got complicated feelings about Alabama.
So you know this is a theme with me over the last couple of years,
right?
When I get on to some, I'm just gonna keep asking.
You kind of stay on it. So I've got some issues with Alabama. Part of it is personal dislike.
Is Bediako or Oats?
Both. So I got to tell you, I don't think this is classified because it's not like medical or anything like that. And she doesn't work there anymore, so it doesn't matter. So,
okay.
Listen.
Where are we going?
You trying to get inside the brain, seeing I process things. This is why sometimes I make emotional decisions. I try not to, but I'm not even emotional. Just like sometimes there's things I can't get out of my head.
Because it's all in my head.
You think about it over and over again? So you doing the Nelly or the Tim McGraw part there?
Who's the whiner? I can't keep picturing you.
So,
I would probably go Tim McGraw on that one.
Like 90% of Tim McGraw in that song is just going, woo!
Is that funny, Shane?
You got it twice.
I know. I'm excited. So here's my problem with part of my problem with Nate Oats. I think he's pretty good at what he does. I think he's done a good job at Bama. But so when teams come to Omaha, they stay at a specific hotel. My wife used to work at said hotel. She had to do a lot of the meals for the teams that come in. So she has very strong opinions about some of the coaches that come through here. Patrick Ewing, apparently enormous a-hole. Like,
so he's so the story with him is he's unapproachable. Like he's very,
so he
leave
would
me alone.
Go out of his way to make like service people cry.
Yeah. That's
so like
that's kind of stuck with him forever.
Yeah. So like if you're mean to service people, like I'm probably out.
Yeah.
Like we're done here. Like I think you're a bad person. So out on Patrick Ewing, she cares very little about any sports whatsoever. She was thrilled when I told her Patrick Ewing got fired. Like that, she was rooting for this man's demise. That's how bad he was to staff. So like that's one. But Alabama came to town a couple years ago to play Creighton. And Nate Oates' staff asked if they could make him raw chicken. Like he wanted to eat raw chicken. And they're like, no, there's just like a health department thing. Like that's
usually there's these things that are on the menu that tell you the percent and what they have to do for poultry and beef.
Yeah. And they're like, I'm sorry. Like this is a health department thing. Like we can't serve you undercooked chicken.
Kind of like food stores.
That's a liability. Yeah, exactly. There's liability there. And like they threw a fit that they wouldn't serve this man raw chicken.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok that eats raw meat?
Yes, I have.
So what's his story?
I think there's a lot going on there.
Well, he's fit as a fiddle.
I think there's other factors there. You remember the Liver King guy where he's like, it's all natural because I eat so much damn liver. Turns out he's on like $2,000 a month in steroids. Like the emails got out and it's like, oh yeah, it might not be the liver. It might be the HGH that you're taking. Like maybe that's a factor here.
What do you have against raw chicken?
I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey guys, I lost all this weight from a cleanse. It's like, no, I lost it from the drugs that I got from Next Gen Male Medical. It's been awesome.
So is salmon yellow? Is that different than Sarah Moylan?
Yes. Salmonella is Sarah Moylan's big brother. Sal Manila.
So you're out on Bama.
Yeah, mostly
the Bediako. It couldn't have been more fitting.
And then the Bediako thing.
Did you guys think I was being petty?
No, I think it's horrible for college sports.
I hate that.
And also, here's the thing that I got mad about. And I'll be honest, the raw chicken thing played into this because I already think he's a full-on psycho. Right? If you're asking people, and like, listen, what you do in the privacy of your own home, whatever.
Are you listening to
Hey,
TK?
that's a secret.
Like, if you're eating raw chicken by yourself at your house, that's fine. But if you're going into public establishments and being like, hey, serve me raw chicken, and then being pissed at them when they don't, what are we doing?
I get it. You think, like, I have, like, poor food storage
I don't
habits.
think you'd eat raw chicken.
It stinks.
Yeah, and can you imagine the texture of that?
I
Can you
vacuum
imagine
seal
biting
chicken
into
in
raw
bulk
chicken?
all the time, and it gives
you the willies. It kind of makes it. Ooh.
I wear gloves.
Can you imagine biting into raw chicken? It's enough to make me gag.
No, it smells.
No, and the texture of it would be horrifying.
And I get in there, right? Like I'll debone.
Yeah.
I can cook the chicken skin, so I take the chicken skins off. Plus, it's a lot cheaper to buy bone-in skin on.
Yeah, you get
And it takes me 5 seconds to fillet that bad boy.
So we start with Nate Oats there. That's my baseline with Nate Oats.
I have a hard time believing that.
I swear to God. 100% true.
So you just at some point you're just like, I want all the nutrients in raw chicken.
Listen, I don't know how he got there, but it does make me question his judgment, which brings us to Bediako.
Can I have another? I have another question.
Sure.
How do you chew raw chicken?
Carefully. I don't know.
It's not even great to cut unless
That's
you
what
have
I mean. It's wiggly.
excellent ginsus.
That's why I was like, can you imagine biting into raw chicken? It's horrifying. So
All right.
full-on psycho behavior.
Carry on.
So I take that. That's my base level with Nate Oats.
I get tired.
Good
morning, Jack.
Tired.
I need my glasses.
So I clearly already question his judgment, right?
Do these match?
They look great. You got the gray, the black, and the red. Those are all your colors.
I don't know. Whatever.
So we go into this thing, and this is the part that makes me mad, is there are people who are willing to make, I don't know if moral's the right word, but principled compromises.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, it's not illegal or it's not against the rules. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. That's what this feels like with Nate Oats, because that's the explanation he gave. He said, well, I mean, as long as they're going to let us do it, I kind of have an obligation to do it. And it's like, no, you don't.
You think he's trying to get ahead of the European influx?
I don't know what he's trying to do. It's not like he's had trouble recruiting. That guy gets whoever he wants. They get really, really good players at Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time trying to figure out why a guy's been in the G League for 3 years. Like, maybe he didn't like his roster construction. He's like, I need another big.
Yeah.
And, like,
and Amen, he worked out on him, too.
And
I was happy to see that.
And did Bediako, like, approach them? Did he go to Bediako and be like, hey, we could use a big. You're not getting minutes in the NBA. You want to come back? Yeah. Like, that's the problem that I have, because this is, as you have said many times, completely and totally unsustainable for college sports moving forward.
It's just not sustainable.
So, and where is the line? Because, and the NCAA is just going to keep getting sued.
Do you believe Dank?
I haven't seen it.
Is this true?
Let me see here.
I thought he said, you know how human brains evolved? Partly because we learned to cook food. So what about guys like Dr. Lecter? He's pretty bright.
Hannibal?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he cooks the people.
No.
I don't think he's eating raw humans.
That's probably part of it.
Also, it's fictional, so that's.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you know, there's a difference between individuals and, like, large-scale evolution.
All right, knock it off.
You know?
He was cooking in that one movie, in Hannibal at the end.
Not as much as Wagler was cooking. My God.
Hey, I don't know if you know he's under-recruited.
Dude, so my Evan.
I don't know if you know, like, that he's flying under the radar. If I hear that, like, it's almost like guys don't do their homework. They just plop in to do a broadcast and get the narrative. So that's what they force feed every game. And I'm kind of being a Richard head because I follow Illinois and I follow recruiting. So I don't need you to keep telling me that after every 3 that he makes. Like, I get it.
Flew under the radar, guys.
Knock it off.
He's 9 for 11 from 3. We're going to tell you every time.
Like. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
TK goes, why did DB sound disappointed that Hannibal was fictional?
This dude.
Good process guy. I would bet you love Lecter's process.
He's yeah. It's very
bright
savvy,
guy,
very
cerebral.
Savvy. Yes, very savvy.
That seems like right up your alley.
You know the sick thing about TK?
I don't think you would eat people though. Go ahead.
He
What's that?
Knows my mannerisms, my dialect, my delivery. It's sick.
He listens to us a lot. He spends a lot of time around us.
He understands cadence.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed. I think it was more how you.
Rowdy says, I don't know if Donner Party was a sushi party or a barbecue party. Good Lord.
It's just Monday.
No, we're.
This is a better start than I thought because I'm telling you,
I told you
I've been choosing violence since about 2:20 yesterday.
I told you I was in a good mood, so we're gonna pull you up with me.
Oh, that'll be new.
You know, I'm trying to lift others up around me, trying to encourage.
Yeah.
You know,
Shane, when you saw Ravi this morning, were you thinking you needed your blue ox, like Babe? Babe, your big blue ox.
It didn't. I was more like
very Paul Bunyan-y today.
Listen, it's cold outside. Gotta stay warm.
Man, we have a
vent. Or
no,
what?
Numbnuts.
I don't know what you're pointing at. Maybe you're pointing
we
at
have
the ceiling.
a skylight in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I was getting a little moisture. I'm terrified.
Oh, you're getting some moisture around the skylight?
Yeah.
Oof. That's scary. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. Sorry, I forgot I was uplifting today. No, I bet it's great. No, what's probably happening, to be honest, is, so like sometimes on your like back door when it gets really, really cold, you get a little frost on there. You're probably getting a little frost on the inside. It's warming up as soon as it hits the heater and then dripping a little. That's probably all it is. Like, it's probably not like an actual leak.
Okay,
if I had to guess,
that's better.
Like, that's usually what something like that is.
Totally couldn't stick with the whole uplifting.
No, I'm lifting everybody up.
Do that again.
I'm lifting everybody up. You know.
Hey, was Wagler under recruited?
I heard he only had 2 offers coming out. I don't know if you know this.
Hey, I don't know if you know that the only American-born player that your boy Coach Underwood is offered unseen is Wagler. Have you heard that story?
Nope.
It's the only non-European guy you can go watch in person.
We'll take him. It's fine.
I don't know if you know that. Did you hear that story?
Who? Who's Underwood? No. Listen, I don't. So the amount of talent he would have to amass for me to think that they could overcome his coaching, is unreal. And they might be close.
Dude, they're good.
No, they are good. I still don't trust him.
Like they're good.
I don't trust him at all.
So
not even a little bit.
Is TCR good?
I'm gonna land on I don't think so.
I get it. He was in foul trouble, but
I'm not a fan of his game. So like it's hard for once I don't like the way somebody looks.
And why can't lawyers shoot anymore?
I don't have a good answer for you there.
He is on the struggle bus.
Sometimes guys just lose it.
You know what else is funny?
Maybe he wasn't a good shooter in the first place.
Can I go back to Nebraska basketball?
Always.
Remember in the chat, people were making fun of me for not being able to have. They weren't really making fun of me. They were. I think maybe they were. I have a tendency to be a little snarky.
Okay, sure.
And I was saying, this is back when they were only like 13-0, and I'm like,
come on, man.
Hey, do we have to worry about keeping these guys on the roster? NIL, like, remember that discussion?
Yep. I remember.
How often did you hear about, can we afford to keep Pryce Sandfort now?
Oh, a lot. God, people are concerned.
It's like, you guys serious?
Here's the thing, though.
Is it Justin Evans or is it Ja'Cory Barney?
Weirdly, both are still on the roster, I believe. Hold on, let me check real quick. Let me check Nebraska football roster here.
You know what else?
Real quick.
You know what else I like about Pryce?
They are still on the roster, and the transfer portal is closed.
I loved all the memes and gifs of Fran McCaffrey saying we held Pryce Sandfort to 5.6 a night. I was like, that is some Dean Smith, Michael Jordan type stuff. Dean Smith is the only guy that can keep Jordan under 20.
That's the old saying. That's the Roy Williams saying, right? He's like, there's only one guy that can keep Michael Jordan under 20 points, and it was Dean Smith.
Yep.
That was a terrible Roy Williams. But
I don't know if you know this, but he goes to all the North Carolina games.
He does. No, I see him. I see him in the stands there. They show him 800 times a game.
Single game after every fourth made bucket. It's Roy Williams.
There's like, hey, Roy's still here. Look how much he loves the program. No,
They're like, hey, you know that guy dropped $20,000 at the casino last night? No.
I don't think he cares. No, the defense. It's funny that the only person that McCaffrey decided to play defense on his entire time at Iowa was his own player. That's unbelievable. Also, can I just say, I'm going to go back and get this one. At what point in this season do you first remember me saying he gives me a little Klay Thompson vibes?
Oh, yeah, the catch. Yeah, I remember. That was
the first
I don't
time.
think they had double-digit wins yet.
They did
so
not.
It was early.
I think it was like 5 or 6.
It was early.
That dude, and it's not just the catch and shoot. There's like some very specific things. Hey, he's got
moving without the ball, and he doesn't have to dribble to score.
Doesn't have to dribble to score, moving without the ball. And here's the one that like really, really reminds me is the sprinting and then ability to raise up immediately.
Yeah, just to get vertical.
Like to get like he doesn't drift at all, no matter how fast he's running to catch and shoot.
Yeah,
which is really, really rare. Guys drift a ton, right? But to be able to sprint full speed and then raise up immediately, especially on a guy that you don't consider crazy athletic.
Was that in Fayetteville? We were somewhere. I mean, and they were always playing against elite talent, like top 10 this, top 5 that, top 6 this player. And at no point did he ever look like he was overwhelmed.
Yeah, he's just steady.
Like,
that's another Klay Thompson factor there.
I mean,
just even all the time.
He just, I don't know.
Also,
but the funny thing about this,
better inside the arc than people give him credit for.
I do want to go back and get something. I feel like maybe you need to go back and get it.
Okay.
So I talked about Sam Hoiberg and his athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're fully admitting he's a really good athlete.
Yeah, he's undersized. That's why it seems like
that's what you meant.
Well,
he's a fantastic athlete.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times when I talk about athleticism, I'm talking about sort of the whole physical package, not just how you move, right? Because I do think there's like a sliding scale of a guy that's 5'8", that like if we're using football terms, right? A guy that's 5'8" that runs a 4.3 is different than a guy like a 5'8", 160 is different than a guy that's 6'2", 230 that runs a 4.3, right? So the size of a person matters on a sliding scale with athleticism. For me,
waffles, Joe Good, waffles. He said pancakes or waffles.
Oh yeah, I like both, but I'll go
team waffles.
I'll go waffles. I like the little pockets for my syrup and butter.
Yeah. So I can't get Zoe to take her vitamins before she brushes her teeth, or after she brushes her teeth,
because it tastes funny.
Allegedly, it tastes funny.
100%. Everything tastes funny after you brush your teeth.
This girl can sit at the breakfast table this morning and knock off day-old waffles after she brushed her teeth. I said, "What's the difference?"
What are the
you know what she told me?
Vitamins taste like?
You know what she told me?
What's that?
We have this thing where we kind of go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say something kind of derogatory about her, and she'll give it back. I'm like, "Oh, your hair stinks." I'll just say, "Oh, you got an apple head." This girl hit me with,
I don't even know what that means.
She's a trip. How about this one, though? Unsolicited. She goes, "You smell like an old folks' home." I said, "Huh?" She said, "Yeah, you're old. Pew."
That's mean.
I am old.
I ran and told Coach Lamonge. I said, "You know what this little girl just said to me?"
Wait, so you told on your own daughter to your head coach?
Yeah, good parenting by me.
What do you think he was going to do about it?
Well, he's got 2 girls and they're tough. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And he happened to be sitting right next to me.
So Sam Hoiberg, good athlete,
really good. I was so child because I was taken aback because I kept saying like, and this wasn't like a knockdown drag out. So don't let me overdo it and exaggerate, but. We're talking about Nebraska's athleticism.
Yeah.
And I was intimating that because they have a lot of guys that aren't.
They're white. It's fine. That's what you said. It's fine.
It's not what I said.
That's what you meant. You think because they have a lot of.
Can you just say it regular?
What?
No, yeah. Can you just say like regular?
I don't even know if I can anymore.
Just say white.
Just say white.
It's not.
You can say regular.
Who?
Regular.
You had me at hello.
I don't know anybody named Regular.
Kugler.
Oh, there it is.
So anyway, like they're way more athletic. Like just because they look a certain way, like
Sure.
Berkay for his size is pretty athletic.
Berkay is a good example. He moves well for his size.
So I was gonna be so petty.
Mhm.
Like Hoiberg put it on the deck, and I was overly concerned because I told you guys real time. I'm like, Nebraska's just not gonna win if Hoiberg's their leading scorer.
Mhm.
And I was gonna take a still of him. He put it on the deck, and he finished with his left hand off the bounce.
Mhm.
But I couldn't get the right angle because obviously I'm restricted with television. But this dude was so high off the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, he's twitchy, really good change of direction. He's super yoked. Like, he's a good athlete.
Yeah.
He's a really good athlete. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Now everybody, I shouldn't say that. I got to stop. People now allude to Pryce's length.
Mhm.
Remember way back early in the season when I said about Pryce, I said, do you know why he's good at finishing around the rim? Because his arms are longer than you think.
Yeah.
Right? He's when he reaches to the rim or, he's finishing or he can absorb contact, like he's long. Like Berkay is long. Garcia is long.
Yeah, Garcia is.
He's a trip, isn't he? Do you think he should play more?
I don't trust him yet.
Just because he's going to shoot that thing? Or?
Yeah, like I think some of those decision makings, like
he's going to let that thing rip.
It's different, especially in the role that he's in now.
Yeah,
like he can't try and be Frager, right? Like because he's not.
Yeah,
he's not in
Frager. He's extremely athletic.
He's really good. What?
Huh?
He's what? He's from Lincoln.
He doesn't look. He doesn't. His attributes aren't.
Like he's
got like the really thick cookie duster and just kind of unassuming.
A little wispy.
Get the crumbs off that thing. He's explosive.
No, he's Frager's super athletic. I think anybody that watches knows Frager's super athletic, and he's got the size to he looks athletic because of his length and size. I think that I think lends into the eyeball test a little bit with athleticism. I think sometimes, and I know I do this with little guys. Especially guys that are like kind of stocky, like Sam is. Like Sam's well built, right? Like he's a strong kid.
Yeah, he's yoked.
I think sometimes we mistake athleticism for hustle. Like we just think he's working harder than everybody else. That's how he gets everywhere.
Yeah. Like
we did this is the guy that I compared him to, not Adam Emenecker, but a guy I compared him to earlier in the year is NBA version of Dellavedova, right? Because Dellavedova was a bucket at St. Mary's. So that's not.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was a pretty good athlete too.
So that's what I was going to say is everybody just assumed that he was just busting his ass all the time to get everywhere. But you don't stay in front of Steph like that unless you're actually a pretty good athlete. Because we've seen Steph dust off Kawhi and not think twice about it, or LeBron and not think twice about it. So if friggin' I just lost his name. Dellavedova stays in front of him. He obviously has to be a pretty good athlete. Like it can't just be hustle.
Thank the Lord I was listening.
I know that'd have been awkward.
What if I wouldn't have known and you just said it 3 seconds earlier?
I almost
both been dumb.
I almost went the other St. Mary's guy, Patty Mills. I was like, that's the wrong point guard.
Hey, is that guy still playing?
Probably somewhere. I think he's playing in Australia. Actually, I think he went back home.
Dude's like Methuselah.
Yeah, he's
getting buckets
forever.
Yeah, he probably will be in the next Olympics. Yeah, Patty Mills for 3. You're like, wait a minute.
48-year-old.
The guy's like 50.
48-year-old Patty Mills suiting up.
And
for
he's Shane size.
Team Australia.
I'm just kidding, Shane. I said that because you look extra tall this weekend.
So he's got some length.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, there's a joke in there. Have you seen on TikTok where Jason Kelsey tells the joke about the fastest man in the world?
Oh.
And then I
don't think so.
It's really funny. It's inappropriate. It's not really inappropriate because people say whatever they want to on this show, but
who?
It's very funny.
Who?
I'll send it to you.
Tim's,
It takes too long to get to. Otherwise, I would send it to Shane because Shane likes playing naughty clips.
Tim says Patty Mills.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Patty Mills is going to be suiting up for Bama this year.
Shoot, they got to stop that. But is because your boy Zugic. I say that.
I was going to say
beef tongue and
there's
raw chicken Nate Oats cheek, but
there's about 100 of those guys, and most of them play.
So it's going to be the European influx that's going to keep guys.
It's going to keep this door open.
And we thought that old Izzo was being crotchety.
Well, he always is being crotchety. Like, let's be honest.
Knock it off.
Listen, when you haven't.
I don't know why you hate that guy.
I don't hate him. I think his prowess is overstated.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that.
I think people give him way too much credit for something that happened a quarter of a century ago.
I could see that.
It's been a minute now.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the infatuation still.
I don't know about that, BP. I know what you're saying. He says you can't be a Division I basketball player at 6 feet or under and not be an exceptional athlete. I'm not going to debate that necessarily, but that's like me saying, we question football players' toughness.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh man, they're not tough. It's like you can't play at the NFL level.
There's like a base level
and not be tough.
Yeah, there's like a base level of like, hey, but there's gradients within that level.
Like how tall is Sturts?
I think they list Sturts. They list him taller than he is. I know that.
Sturts is a wispy little dude. I don't know how good of an athlete Sturts is.
I would agree with that. So they list him at 6'4".
Not a chance.
I was gonna say 6'1".
Anyway,
but yes, you're like I would agree. Sturt, like there's a reason Sturt started off at the Division II level.
Yeah.
Right. If you're actually 6'4", which I don't believe, but if you're actually a 6'4" guard with his skill set, and you're even a functional athlete coming out of high school, now I'm sure he's gotten better with good conditioning and whatever, but you're not going to Division II with his skill set if you're 6'4" guard and are a good athlete.
Yeah.
But you end up at Iowa, and here we are. I don't think what we got.
My daughter tells me I smell like kimchi.
Ooh, that's rough.
Kimchi is foul.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Isn't that like
that's the like fermented
wilted cabbage?
Yeah. It's not wilted. That's full on like DB left that on the counter too long cabbage.
All right. We're not. By the way, the waffles that Zoe ate today, this morning, I think were made yesterday, and they had not been refrigerated. They were in a Ziploc bag, and they were sensational.
DB, meat is different.
So where do you draw the line at yeast?
Well, it's cooked already. It's cooked already, which helps. Please don't throw up in your hands. That'd be awkward.
Joe Good, how old's your son?
It's cooked already, which helps.
He said spicy kimchi is delicious. Stop telling fibs. Yeah. I mean, I'll rock with it because it's good for you, but
what?
Kimchi.
Is it good for you?
I think so. It has some redeeming qualities.
Not the smell. I know that.
Yeah,
somebody comes up telling you smell like
it is. Is that worse than an old? Oh, that's it, Joe Good. Shout out you.
100% worse than an old folks home.
No. No, you've never had a parent live in assisted living.
I had a grandma live in assisted living. I smelled it. I know. It's been like 30 years. I still remember how that smells. But I also used to have a coworker that would bring kimchi in. And
you see, you can't do that.
Let me say that's a.
Are there rules for bringing lunch? Because I live with a guy.
There should be.
Who will no longer take your guy's stuff to school to eat.
Your guy's stuff? What's that mean?
I keep thinking we're texting.
Like Paul Bunyan? What did Paul Bunyan eat?
He doesn't like taking leftover Indian.
Oh. Sorry. It is it depends on what it is. It's got a strong smell.
If you start talking about like Ethiopian goat stuff, touche. You just get that out of your system. I'm just saying. Do you even know what Africans eat? I'm not even really African.
Gotta be careful here.
And you eat a lot of what we eat.
Yeah, I like a lot of the same foods you do.
Yeah. So anyway, there should be.
Never mind. I'm not.
You can't help yourself.
I know. I want to so bad, and it's not even good timing anymore. No, I could. There's Indian food has a strong aroma. I don't think it's bad, but it is very like people know you have Indian food.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Oh no, we got Wyatt calling in.
TB said Paul. Did you say Tim's a comedian?
Yeah, he is.
That's funny. He said Paul Bunyan would eat raw chicken.
Yeah,
He's
a professional comedian.
So Dixie, I can't. I say B Jizzle. I said the G word once, and then.
Yep.
So I'm not. Maybe I'll just say Barry.
Yeah.
I don't know should I just call him DR?
I mean, I think Dixie's fine. I wouldn't say the rest of it.
So cold rice is necessary, though.
Why?
Because that's what you make homemade fried rice with.
Oh, you don't
and sometimes
eat it cold,
if it's clumpy, like I'll just down the hatch. It's fine.
It's not great, but it's fine. Like I don't have a problem.
It's
with
not
it.
like I wouldn't be like, oh, that's gross.
No, I wouldn't either.
That'd be like Brussels
That's
sprouts
fine.
or
It doesn't
cooked cauliflower. Or as Shane would probably say, cauliflower.
Broccoli. The smell of cooked broccoli.
I don't use that word.
Shane, were your ears ever bad when you wrestled, or did you get headgear on it?
Yeah, I got headgear on it.
Yeah. Did you ever have them drained?
No.
No.
Never had a problem with it.
Didn't get the cauliflower.
It's not what it is.
Oh.
Collie?
I thought that's
like melon? Like what are we talking about?
No, I meant like the dogs.
It's cauliflower.
Big border collie guy. You ever get to Wyatt? I'm scared.
Dude, Robert's a trip. You can't say that stuff.
I mean, it's YouTube. You can say whatever you want.
Smells like Bunda?
Yeah, I think he's talking about kimchi still, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, imagine.
How old's your kid? You smell like kimchi.
Imagine somebody bringing that to work.
No, I get it.
Horrifying.
All right. Get to Wyatt. I want to hear what Asian Wyatt has got on his mind.
The phone may not be working. Can we get to Wyatt, Shane?
I had to pass on him since the phone's not working.
What's wrong with the phone? His phone?
No, our phones are having issues.
Why?
I don't know. I don't work for the phone company.
I hate when you talk to me like you're frustrated.
Why would I know what's wrong with the phone?
Wow.
That's not even my people's area of expertise. Now, if you're like, what's
There's
wrong?
a call center joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, we don't fix them. We answer them. It's different. And mine are my branch of the family is really more computer based.
Oh, that's fine.
Although I still don't know how to do anything with computers, as you know. You're like, hey, fix this. And I was like, I'm not that kind of Indian.
Oh, man. Hey, so, Kobe, if cold rice is... So we got to make sure we get our Chinese hot.
I do like Chinese food. Big Chinese food guy.
Yeah, I found a new place.
Oh, did you?
Well, I haven't been there. I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, okay. Here in Omaha?
Yeah.
Oh,
I actually saw it on Channel 7.
Might have to get in there a little
They
bit.
do like these food.
Oh, kind of little profiles?
Yeah.
I like those. I like seeing people get their attention, help them out.
They had some chicken wings that looked amazing.
That's the funniest thing to me is like you judge a Chinese place by their chicken wings.
Did I say it was Chinese?
Yeah, we were just talking about Chinese.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, how'd you know?
But as soon as you brought up chicken wings, I would have known it was Chinese. You love chicken wings at Chinese places, which is cool.
Significantly better than chicken wings at like regular places.
It's just funny because I have to gauge when I'm like, hey, can you give me...
Well, I'm not telling you about the Fuyang or Lo Mein.
Yeah, I know. But like if I have to understand when I ask you about a Chinese place, you're talking about different things than I am in terms of what you want to eat there.
But I would like... I mean, if we're on it, I do think there's a minimum baseline.
Yeah, but my minimum baseline is not chicken wings at a Chinese restaurant.
You don't think?
No, not even a little bit.
Do you know how many Korean? Do you know how many Korean fried chicken places there are?
No, there's a bunch.
Apparently, they're good at it.
But if I'm going to a Korean barbecue or a Korean chicken place, that's different than I'm going to a Chinese restaurant.
I couldn't get into the one I wanted to get into in Vegas.
Oh, the Korean place?
Korean 88.
Yeah. So they have some places like I would go.
And then look up Blue Kitchen.
Blue Kitchen?
Yes.
If I'm going to a Korean place, then the chicken becomes much higher on the list. Like
so
the Korean barbecue places.
So what's the basic minimum? What's the basic dish that you cannot screw up if it's good at blank? Would it be fried rice?
For a Chinese restaurant?
Would it be fried rice?
Yeah, probably. Fried rice is a pretty basic, that's your hey, if you can't make chicken tenders at a bar,
the best fried rice that I've had in this city,
Mhm.
and this is a guy that's eaten. I mean,
everywhere.
A lot of Chinese, a lot
Okay.
of Chinese places.
Good range of expertise.
Is no longer open, so that's how good it was.
Well, that's not always good indicator.
And maybe it moved. If you guys know what happened to Buddha Belly, can you help me out?
Oh,
it was a little hole in the wall over here off of Discovery Road.
I know a place called Buddha Belly. I don't know if it's the same place or not, though. There's one in Bellevue now.
Is it the same Buddha Belly?
I don't know.
Buddha Belly moved from 135th to.
I don't know. I didn't know.
It was
about
over there
here.
by the McDonald's and the Walgreens on 135th and Q.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to that one, but there is a Buddha Belly in Bellevue now. So maybe that's your spot. They're pretty good. I've been there.
Is fried rice the barometer?
It might be. I'm not a big, I don't generally order it, but that might be the standard.
Because isn't there's that place at every restaurant. Like if you can't do a blank,
Yeah,
like a cheeseburger.
If you can't do, a lot of people will go to bar food, be like, if you can't do chicken tenders, I don't trust anything you can do, right? Because it's pretty simple. Or if you can't do a cheese pizza or a pepperoni pizza, I'm not trying any of your specialty stuff, right? So maybe it is for like a shrimp fried rice or something. That would be pretty basic, I think. I will say I judge pretty heavily on my egg drop soup. Love egg drop soup and crab rangoons. Big crab rangoon guy.
What's the Indian equivalent?
Ooh, probably like a butter chicken. If you can't do a butter chicken, just GTFO.
I got 5 on it.
I think that means it's time to take a break. Let's take a quick fiver here. Let's get to Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald coming to next. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, I thought one of the biggest examples was just Petra and her play and the way that she was, commanding the basketball inside Jess Petrie. I felt like we did a good job of really using our voices to be aggressive, to command the basketball in the paint, to play a little bit more aggressively and get, double figures from both Jess and Petra. That mattered. That made a big difference for our team, but also just little things like, not shying away from the physicality or aggressiveness of Illinois and the way that they like to play, and just being able to kind of handle that and expect it and play through it. And those are the kinds of things I think show great fight.
Well, my experience tells me that doing this for this time, no one will remember in March, but right now it hurts. But in March, you got to show up in March. And if we show up in March, then we'll have good results. But, that's what kind of our motto is. But, we didn't expect this. So, they did a great job. We didn't. That's sports. No. Keep your head up and start fighting more. But we learned a lot from tonight that will be reinforced that guys don't quite believe. So.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, championship teams respond the right way, and that's exactly what our guys did. I felt really fortunate to only be down 6 at halftime. They go 9 for 20 from 3, and you know, we didn't play a great offensive game in that first half, and we were only down 2 possessions. So that's what I left them with. And if we went out and turned it around and got back to being who we are, we were going to have a chance to win the game.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mayo Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Ooh, it's like this. It's like a voice from God. It sounds different.
Oh,
with the audio. How are we doing?
I'm good.
But
yeah.
When Coach Hoiberg says they took turns letting the guys have it, could you imagine Coach Hoiberg just unloading? What delivery do you think that sounds like?
Come on, man.
Well, we saw it on if people who are on social media saw him get after his team with the us, you know. Had a couple F-bombs in there. You know. No, I mean, Fred Hoiberg's super intense. He's able to sort of hold that in with the media, but his intensity is pretty up there, and you know, he's as intense as any coach on Nebraska's campus. So.
Not going to call his kid a pest, but he can drop an expletive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. Yeah.
Funny.
Go ahead. It was. No, he's. I think I heard Mike Elko, who's the coach at Texas A&M, the football coach, say something interesting this year. He's like, my job as the coach is to be the opposite of whatever motion is in that locker room at the moment. And I think in that moment, what Lenzer and Hoiberg are doing, and Lenzer did a really good job of explaining in very short order, you know, you got to remember who we are, and they work hard too, and they practice too. And I think the message they were sending is, you can't just think that these guys are going to lay down for you. And I think what you saw in that cinematic recap is two coaches who understood that their team wasn't playing as hard or as well as they could, and they needed to have a kick in the butt. And it was an 11 a.m. tip, which is early, you know, so I think that's part of it too. My point being that if they go to Michigan tomorrow and they're down 7 at halftime, I don't think that the coaches, and even if they were out rebounded, I don't think they're going to go in there and flip out like that. I think it's going to be more of a, guys, we're in this game, and all we got to keep doing is what we're doing, get a couple of more rebounds, and we're going to beat this team. Like, you got to change your approach depending on what the moment calls for. And I think the moment tomorrow night calls for knowing that you're playing a really good team, and knowing that it's going to take a little bit extra to win it, and getting that out of your guys is it might be a little bit different approach than you used at Minnesota, which is a nice team, but nowhere near as good as Michigan or as talented as Michigan.
Sam, do you think there's maybe more margin for error with this team, with the middle of the pack Big Ten, than maybe we're used to? Like, there's games in years past where, you know, like this is a game with Minnesota that I've seen them lose before, right? They come out low, they don't really get it going. And there's been a few of those this year, right? Where it's like, you know, you get down and you just can never really fight your way out of the wet paper bag that you put yourself in. And that doesn't really seem to be the case this year. Like, I don't know if it's their ability to kind of flip the switch a little bit better, or if they're just that much better. But like, it seems like they've got a little bit more leeway. I don't want to say they don't have to play 40 full minutes, but they're able to recover if they get off to a bad start.
I think that's a really good observation. And I think I would assign that to two things. The first thing I would assign it to is Pryce Sandfort. I think he has a lot to do with why they're able to erase bad stretches really quickly. Not just because he's a good shooter, but because of the work that he does off the ball. He does not require the basketball in order to make plays and score points. He gets it right at the end. Obviously, he requires the basketball to shoot it. But they lacked that guy last year. They did. They lacked that guy. Their best player last year was Bryce Williams, but if we're going to be honest, Bryce required, he probably shouldn't have, but he needed the ball in his hands in order to do those things. And when he was away from the ball, he wasn't quite as active. And so a lot of times people kind of look around and they'd wait and they'd stand. And it took time for them to just finally get the ball back to Bryce and then let him cook, which is what he would do.
It's interesting, too, because he was an elite scorer.
Yeah.
It's a different type of scorer.
A different type of scorer, for sure. But there's a value in the way that Sandfort does it, because if he's off the ball and he's making a defender work, then there's so many other things that you can do. And then the other thing is Rink Mass. So Mass comes back, and maybe this would have been this way last year if Rink had been there and Bryce had been off the ball, and maybe Bryce would have been able to do a lot of the things that Sandfort's doing. But, Rink creates opportunities by he's able to hold that ball up high, and he's able to get guys to move around him. And a lot of the other parts are somewhat similar. Burke Buchengel's a little bit better than he was last year, but he's still up and down. And, Jacobson's better. Sam Hoiberg's better, but, Sam Hoiberg brought a lot of the same traits to the table last season. I think some of it is that they're just a little bit more cohesive. And honestly, I think Pryce Sandfort's a really, really good player. And he almost is so understated in the way he does it. And there's been so much focus on Mass that I think we can actually overlook the things that Sandfort is doing. But he's really special without the ball. And then when he gets it, the economy and efficiency with which he touches the ball and then he does something with it, shooting it, getting to the lane. He's very, very efficient that way. And so kudos to Fred Hoiberg for knowing that Sandfort was going to be that good. And then Sandfort deserves a lot of credit for being that good. And he's been incredible over the last 5 or 6 games. So good that I'm not even sure we register it. And it's okay that we don't register it, but there's a lot of focus on all the parts because the parts are all adding up without maybe the full appreciation of, he's like Jordan Hooper out there. Like he's dominating whole stretches of games, and it's hard. It's like hard to, we don't always recognize what he's doing when he's doing it.
You know what's interesting? And just if you change team names and logos, and because it's Nebraska, this, that, and the other, for a year and a half on this show, Sam, we would argue about, do you know where I'm going with this? Who's offensive prowess as a national power? We'd go back and forth over UConn.
Oh, yeah.
And Hurley. And, is it complicated? Is it not? And then it was, these hard cuts and the moving without the ball and this motion offense. And you know what's pretty understated as we talk about the individual performances? Because we've taken turns, right? First, early on, it was the greatness of Rink Mass. And did we know how good he was? And then it was, oh, my gosh, the development of Sam Hoiberg. And then it was, late game Frager is unbelievable, and now it's Pryce Sandfort, right? We've taken turns with individuals. At what point do you think we give the offensive philosophy the Nate Lenzer treatment that we do defensively? Of man, these guys are really good moving without the ball. You heard this was the second broadcast because I think Weber did it with Kugler, where he would, from a coach's aspect, where he talked about the movement and how the ball breathes and everybody touches it. But even when Sandfort wasn't getting it going from behind the arc, it was cutting and then the passing and then five guys would touch it. At what point do you think we talk about Nebraska's offensive concepts the way we give some of these other coaches credit around the country?
I think you can do that now. I think Fred Hoiberg has always had, a good offense. I think it's not always been easy to realize it because of some of the guys that were running that offense. But now I think you've got a lot of really old guys who are experienced, and you see what happens when. Now, I do think you need 4th and 5th year players in a lot of cases to do it. I think it's hard if you're running out,
Do you correlate that with being unselfish? Or
yeah, somewhat, but I also think just understanding the nuances of, like they get points off of ghost screens, and that's a screen that actually is a fake. It's a fake screen, and it's not actually a screen, but it looks like it's going to be a screen, and then it turns into a shot. And I think it takes time to know how to make that play work. It's kind of like a quarterback who's good at ball handling. Like it just takes time to know how practice to know what a good play fake looks like. Or if you're seasoned in the RPO, a guy that's doing that for the third year just kind of has a sixth sense about how far that linebacker has to move over before he can fit in a slant route. Something that, incidentally, I don't know that Dylan Raiola ever quite figured out. He was really good at other ball handling, but he was still getting there in that area, and I think he'll actually improve in that at Oregon because they do so much of it. But that kind of thing, like you have an understanding of like how to execute everything that's on the court, and I think that's probably where they're at. I mean, Rink Mast is like a pro, and he's still in college, but he's a pro. And again, I think Pryce Sandfort is, Wilson Moore wrote a really good story about him in early January. And I think if you understand what Pryce grew up with and his father and his grandfather, schooling him and his brother for years on some of these things that I'm guessing some of these kids are just learning now, you kind of understand why he's as good as he is. Like I'm not saying he was Kevin Durant, the way that Kevin Durant was practicing at 7 years old, but it's pretty close. Like he spent a lot of time developing into this player. And when Fred inserts that into his schematics, it looks really good. Like he's really, really fundamental. And then Fred has an advanced scheme that helps players like that look really good.
I've told this, I've intimated this since the season started, just from being around Pryce and his family on the shoe circuit. One thing you never have to worry about, and I'm sure, and his mom's the same way from what I can gather, and you could see it in his older brother, competitive and toughness reigns supreme in that household. Like talking about the stories with Pops and Grandpa, like I can just imagine like zero cares being given as guys are being knocked down to the ground out there hooping, because that's how they cheer. That's how they kind of carry themselves as parents. Like they may not say much to the eye, but you can tell it's in there when you sit and chat with them.
I believe that. And I think, for almost all of their lives, Peyton was probably the better of the two. I think it's possible his younger brother surpassed him just now. And that's good. Like what you do is you kind of learn how to play against and occasionally beat your older brother, and you take all those lessons and you put them together and you produce what he's producing. And again, I think he got the right coach. I think Hoiberg's offensive philosophy is somewhat similar to Fran McCaffrey, who's people have always respected in that regard. But I think Fred's a little bit more cerebral and a little less explosive. And I think that's probably helped to sort of tune Sandfort to, look, Nebraska's going to retain him. He's going to come back if he doesn't go to the NBA. And I think he should do the Baylor Shireman plan and do 2 years here, because that got Baylor into the first round, and I think Sandfort could do the same thing. But if he was like, well, I'm gonna leave, he would command $2 or $3 million, and he'd go to Duke. So I think people are just catching up to how good he is and how good he's been this year. And you can't ever guarantee that you can duplicate it, but man, he's awfully good. And again, it is a credit to Hoiberg's system, but it's also a credit to, Jamarcus Lawrence for understanding I've always got that little pitch back to Pryce, and he can make that from 27 feet. And so if we're in transition, I know who to look for, and I know who to pitch it back to, all that stuff. Like they understand all those things, and it's magic, right? There's a certain bit of magic to it. They're going to get challenged tomorrow night in a unique way. I think in a lot of ways they're a better team than Michigan, but you can't do anything about Michigan 7'3", 6'9", 6'9", and then they got a 6'9" guy they bring off the bench who's just kind of a big glute. I mean, he's a big rough guy that's been there for 4 years and is willing to sit on the bench and come out and absorb fouls, and that's what makes Michigan good. Is they're huge and they can throw up bad shots, which they do, and they just rebound and they put them in. So Nebraska's got its work cut out for it. Actually, the next 2 games, Michigan's really good, and Illinois will come into Lincoln really fired up. And Illinois has a better coach. I mean, Illinois has got a hell of a coach, and they will be ready to play Nebraska in round 2.
Whoa, you
hold
may
on.
be the first.
They have a better coach than who?
Than Michigan.
Oh, I don't know about.
Oh, I do.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I don't think Underwood's a better coach than Hoiberg. No, I think Hoiberg's way up there. Once he gets his players, I think with Fred it's always been about getting the guys that fit him. And in my opinion, he needs 400 level graduate student level players. Like it would be hard for him to take, a bunch of freshmen. They might be okay, but by year 3, that would be the elevated version of that. I think Fred's really good with the portal as it is right now. You can go get a Pryce Sandfort, or you go get an elite Missouri Valley player like Rink Mast. You plug them into this system, and all of a sudden, the things that they did well at Bradley or wherever become elite here.
How do I get into the May versus?
I
don't want to be distracted.
Oh yeah.
You're like rock stock for sure too. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the Florida Atlantic run to the Final Four. I do. I think that was cool. They had a beautiful path to get there. I mean, it was a very, very palatable run for Florida Atlantic, but I do appreciate that they got there, and I think that was cool. But yeah, I'm not trying to sit here and knock Dusty May. He's a good coach. He's a really good coach. I'm just saying Brad Underwood's, I don't know, among the best. And so he will come in with a good plan, and it will be a tough game. Every time Nebraska and Illinois play, it's a great game. There's 2 elite coaches at a high level. They're doing different things. Illinois is a little bit more athletic. Nebraska's a little bit more under control. And I think Nebraska's won 3 of the last 4. I think. But that team that Illinois had a couple years ago, the one that lost in the Elite 8 to UConn, that was the second best team in the country. They just happened to play UConn in the Elite 8. That's all that was. That was the title game.
Yeah, that was Shannon.
That was Terrence Shannon.
Yeah, that was the title game. When they played each other, that was the national championship. And I know how that stuff goes. Well, they were 3 seed. No, that team was amazing. And they just happened to play the best team in the country in the Elite 8. Sometimes that happens. It happened one year to Iowa State when they played Michigan State, which went on to win a national title. Sometimes that happens. But that Illinois team's certainly better than the Florida Atlantic team that made the Final Four.
Sam, who's the best? Who in your opinion is the best team in the Big Ten right now?
Honestly, I think it's Nebraska. I just think that the game tomorrow night is, it's one of those deals where I think it's Nebraska. I do. I think if you watch Michigan, I have a deep appreciation for how good they are. And Lindenberg is a really good player. And my guess is Nebraska kind of hopes he guards Sandfort. Maybe, because I think Sandfort can get his points either way, and you want to wear Lindenberg out.
Well, he's going to have to move. I could see him being in some pick. He's going to have to move now.
Right. I think it's Nebraska, but Michigan may win tomorrow night by 6 or 7. And I guess then you'd have to say it's Michigan, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. I think Michigan wins because they're huge. They remind me, I was saying this to our beat writer, Wilson Moore, they kind of remind me of that, Brooke and Robin Lopez team at Stanford, where they take a lot of iffy shots, but they just kind of assume the Lopez twins would erase the mistakes. And they do. Michigan gets offensive rebounds and they put it back in. But if you're just talking about
they're
watching,
and offensive and defensive efficiency numbers are pretty legit.
They are, but they will take 25 threes a game, and they're not like great. They're 8 of 25, stuff like that. My point being that part of their 2-point efficiency is that they grab offensive rebounds and they put the shots in. Like that's part of what they're doing, and I'm good for them. I mean, that's not a bad strategy. I would just say that like Michigan's superpower is its size. But if you're just like watching a basketball game and you're just like, man, you want to watch a team just make it look like it's really supposed to look, I think Nebraska is like right at the top of the list. I haven't watched a ton of Arizona. I did get a chance to watch their game this weekend. They're a fine team. And then, of course, Connecticut is a team that you have to admire, even if you don't necessarily like everything that they're about. You have to admire and appreciate the way they do what they do. So when they come to Creighton on Saturday, you're going to see what you always see when they come to Creighton. And you're going to see Creighton take its game up a notch, and it'll be a great game because Creighton always brings its very best when they host UConn. So, but those are probably the three teams: Arizona, UConn, Nebraska. I guess Duke. Duke's really talented.
And they ran into a buzzsaw at Texas Tech. I was joking with these guys in our basketball group chat that
Houston
Mahomes was having a night in Lubbock. I mean, when Tech had 55 at the half, that was one of the greatest quad box days of the year so far for college football. But
you like Houston?
I like Houston quite a bit.
Yeah, their defense is. Yeah.
I like Houston quite a bit, and if you want a good kind of an interesting, they're not a dark horse because they're a blue blood, and I cheer for them. When Carolina's right, they're really good. Their shot selection from 3 gets away from them, but there's not much they can't do defensively and offensively when they're playing well.
Yeah, they're good. Yep. And another blue blood that could be really, really good is Kansas.
God, they frustrate. I watch them a ton. I mean,
it's going to depend on whether, this is my opinion, of course. Bill Self's one of the greats of all time. It's going to depend on whether he's willing to let that guy
Peterson
go for 40, because he can't. I mean, that guy surpassed the player at BYU, DeBanza, as the number 1 pick. If Peterson is healthy, everybody wonders, and it's kind of a mystery, his health. But if he lets him go and just says, all right, just go be, Carmelo Anthony or whatever we need. Go get 35 tonight. They could go a long way in the tournament.
I wonder who they hire. It's gonna be like Jeremy Case or Kirk Heinrich or. I wonder who Kansas hires.
Oh, for their new coach?
Yeah. I mean,
I figured Josh Vaughn. That's who I figured.
Self has to retire, doesn't he?
I have no idea.
God, this doesn't seem like he ever feels good.
He keeps having these health
right. Yeah.
Wonder.
Well, I would guess it'd be Jock Vaughn. That would be my hunch of who they would pick. Some of the other guys, or if they wanted to go the what do you call it? What was the guy that replaced Dean Smith?
Bill Guthrie.
Yeah, if you want to go that route, they've got a couple.
You're
old
really
guys.
Trying to hurt my feelings this morning, aren't you?
Oh, they went to the Final Four with Guthrie
picking up
twice, I think.
Old wounds.
I think they went to the Final Four twice with Guthrie. They were okay.
Damn, I'm spoiled.
I think I'm always fascinated when I don't know why we're talking about Kansas here, but
you talking about Jimmy?
No, I'm just always fascinated with when blue bloods like this make these kind of like baffling in-house hires. Like, I'm not trying to make you mad. Like, why is Hubert Davis the coach of North Carolina? Like, what are we doing? You can get anybody you want.
You got no.
It's the Kansas job. It's North Carolina. Like, I get it's working out for Duke, but you see these blue bloods.
I don't know. Is it?
Well, I mean,
it's working out for Duke.
He's pretty
good.
Relative,
he's got to make a Final Four pretty soon.
I mean,
like
he's got to make a the memes last
Shire did.
year.
He made it last
year.
year.
Nobody does less with 5 stars than like. This isn't
I
just
don't know.
me saying. Sam, I'm just telling you, like, whether
don't
it's
like
right
Duke.
or wrong, they win a ton, but it's relative to Duke and their talent level. They had 3 top 15 picks last year.
Yeah.
Like, what are we? I mean, 4. Was it 3 or 4?
It was 3 or 4.
But anyway, like
They were
point,
good, though. They were really good. They were the number 1 team in the country until they lost by 1. They lost a 7-point lead at the end of the game.
They're a slightly less beleaguered version of John Calipari's teams, for the most part.
Sam, which
Yeah,
one did you have on your bingo card? And you know I'm tickled because I honk for this guy. Sam Darnold playing for a Super Bowl or Mike McCarthy not even having to sit a full year.
Yeah, I didn't have the second one. No.
Thanks.
I didn't.
But it's gut punching old DB.
Well, I mean, I don't really. It tells me that they didn't know that Mike Tomlin was going to step down.
Well, he had intimated allegedly, but I wonder what it was. I'd like to have seen what the Shula interview was actually like. Like, could he just maybe not command that room? I don't know.
I don't know.
You think
I totally understand the idea behind. I think they're in a tough spot there in Pittsburgh because they haven't had a quarterback in a while who you could really. I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't quite count, and so maybe they feel like they had to go out and get an offensive guy, and it's very hard. See, here's the thing about the NFL. There's no Lane Kiffin moves in the NFL. That doesn't happen. The only way it happens is if you give people draft picks. All right. So John Gruden moved, but it took draft picks to do it. So, like, would Kyle Shanahan want to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, he might, but you can't get Kyle Shanahan.
Let's leave Kyle alone.
But you know what I'm saying?
Kyle's
Would Kevin O'Connell want to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers? Probably, but you can't get it. Like, the team won't let him go. And so, like, would Ben Johnson want to coach the Steelers? Probably, if you're comparing the franchises. But you can't get those guys. So, like, the best coaches in the league are locked up, and Mike Vrabel was hoovered up a year before Mike Tomlin stepped down. If Tomlin had stepped down last year, Mike Vrabel would be a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, and they'd probably be in the Super Bowl. So, because he's that good of a coach. And, Tennessee was that dumb to fire him.
You're killing me, Sam.
So, but the point is, you can't go and just get whoever you want. Whereas, like, LSU could go Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin could leave. It cost LSU money, but that's all it cost them. In the NFL, it's not like that. And so the Steelers, probably surveying the landscape, maybe they weren't ready to. I don't think they should hire Sean McDermott, but in theory, they could have. They could have said, well, we'll take Sean McDermott. Or something, but they probably wanted to go with offense, and Mike McCarthy's, out there. And I mean, everything that's happened in Dallas isn't Mike McCarthy's fault. Everybody knows that. So that Mike McCarthy didn't do anything wrong down there. I mean, they weren't any better this year than they were the year before. So,
I don't know.
I
have yet to recover from Underwood being better than May, or the fact that we didn't know that Tomlin was thinking about retiring. Like,
how could they have known? If they had known, then they would have done something. I would have think they would have done something.
But what would have
different?
Like, what would you have suggested though? You know how the league works. It's like,
yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I just don't think it was a very good head coaching class. Like I said this earlier,
I don't know if I agree. That's the low hanging fruit, but
I don't think there's good options out there for anybody. Like unless you and. The guy that we're enamored with John Harbaugh going to the Giants, again, it's been a very long time since that dude has won that Super Bowl. That, like, we're kind of giving the Sean Payton thing here, and that's fine. But, like, that's the gem of the class, and everything else is like, well, I guess maybe Grant Udzinski is gonna get hired. What are we doing?
Like, but
I think the Ravens. I think the Ravens got a great coach.
They look at hot shot coordinators.
Like, I think the Ravens got a great coach. Don't you? A great head coach.
I don't know about great, but
I think he makes sense for what they were trying to do.
Like I like the hire.
But none of these coordinators are on the same level of what we thought about Ben Johnson last year.
I agree. Yeah, Ben Johnson was the best coordinator hire in
I mean, people
many
were trying
years.
to hire that guy for like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Detroit
And-
was only good for 3 years.
And they
Yeah.
wanted him, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
No, the Bears are lucky. They're lucky. They're fortunate.
What makes Ben Johnson, and I'm not saying he won't be, but like we're really selective. Like what makes him better than Cohen?
Cohen was a great hire.
And we've seen
that was another really good hire.
We've seen hotshot offensive coordinators get hired all this. There's this guy in Indy who we thought was pretty good, and he's had to fluctuate quarterbacks. Didn't we think Steichen was pretty good? We thought a lot of these guys were good. So, like, the NFL does it more than what we're giving them credit for, to just hire a sitting Mike McCarthy and be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, it caught me off guard. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not how the league has historically thought. It's
right.
We could just say that the Steelers maybe played it safe because of the stability of the franchise, and they don't take a lot of chances. But I don't think it's because they can't get who they want. Like, I think it's more of a temperament thing.
That's possible. They didn't really have a chance at John Harbaugh because Tomlin didn't step down until Harbaugh had taken the Giants job.
I mean, fudge. Tennessee fired Vrabel. Like, they do dumb stuff. Like,
They're
weird stuff.
morons. I don't know why they did that.
Would you have rather had Stefanski
Than Vrabel? Or what do you mean?
No, than
McCarthy.
Than McCarthy.
I struggle. This is just me being in my feels. This isn't me being like rational, thinking it through. I'm not real high on guys in the division coming over to take a job. I would have even struggled with Harbaugh, even though I think he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
I do think his building of franchises prowess label that he gets is vastly overrated.
Yeah.
Considering what Harbaugh inherited.
That's right.
And how he
That's
finished his last
right.
8 years.
The Ravens are
Yes.
Like, I'm not like
Institutionally.
you're not pulling the wool over my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, and he is. Lamar Jackson's really good. So, I think he's fine. And I would have liked the Browns to have gotten him. Sure, yeah, that would have been fine for me. But I don't know that it would have been that much different from the Bears getting John Fox back in the day.
Seattle took a chance on McDonald. Like, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what the Ravens are doing is hiring Mike McDonald, except they're just hiring a different version of that, same kind of tree and all that. Anyway, I don't know. As I said a couple weeks ago, I think Mike Vrabel's the best coach in the NFL. And that team, obviously they had an easy schedule and they got a break with Nick's getting hurt and all that. But that team doesn't have any business being in the Super Bowl. They were coached up. And if the game is played and Darnold doesn't implode, Seattle's going to win that game by 10 to 14 points. That's a much better football team than the Patriots. It's really impressive that New England made it to the Super Bowl, because I don't think they're one of the 3 or 4 most talented teams on that side. I really don't. I think they're just really well coached, and they don't they create their own luck, and they're clutch when they need to be. He's a great coach.
How much do you think health has to do with it, though? Because I think that's huge.
Yeah. Well, it's huge when that side is what it is, and I'd argue the 2 most complete teams played each other in the wild card round. The Buffalo's not complete, but they have the best player. And then Jacksonville's very good, and Buffalo beat them. And then, everybody knows what happened with the Broncos-Bills game. So,
and I love Josh Allen, but man, I'm over the apologist type stuff though.
Well, yeah, sure.
This guy turned him you can't play like that in crunch time and not absolve yourself of responsibility.
Right.
Stop turning the ball over.
Oh, he didn't. He took responsibility personally. He channeled his inner Carson Wentz, as I like to say. Every so often, Josh Allen is just reckless. He's reckless. And he is that way because I think he thinks he has to be in order to will the team to victory. And sometimes that's true. And, that's kind of the way Patrick Mahomes plays the game too. He does things you probably shouldn't do because he thinks he has to do them in order to will the team to victory. And so, you don't have to. No, people should not defend Allen's performance in the Broncos game. It was just like, I'm a Bears fan. And so obviously I was deeply emotionally involved in the Bears game. But I was about as emotionally involved in that Bills Broncos game because you kind of know what's at stake there with Josh Allen. Like there's a strong feeling around that guy because of who he is and the way he plays. And there's a certain admiration to the way that he and Lamar Jackson both play the game. Like there is. That doesn't exist with Joe Burrow, even though on his best day, Joe Burrow might be better than both. There's a certain admiration to watching both of those guys. And that's one of the reasons why they have unusually strong defenders. Because you admire, kind of like with Elway. I didn't really like John Elway, but other people did. And they liked him because of the things that he would do. Or Brett Favre. And I hated Brett Favre.
I'll say Favre is the one that you made me think
of. Brett Favre. I hated Brett Favre for years. I did. But you knew why people respected him. And Josh Allen's in that group. Lamar Jackson's in that group. Mahomes is in that group. I think Mahomes has had better teams around him. But that's why those people engender that level of loyalty, because they play the game in a way that makes people think of, I don't know, courage or something. And they both play that way. And neither one of them's been to a Super Bowl. The day that either one makes the Super Bowl, people will say that's the best of all time. Like that's probably what's going to happen. Is the day that Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen makes the Super Bowl, somebody's going to say, well, that's the best we ever saw because of the way that they played the sport.
I don't know if you know that this is going to be a storyline, Sam, but Vrabel will have the chance to win with the same franchise as a player and coach.
That's the first one?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a thing here over the next 2 weeks, but you'll hear that every day. He would be the first one.
Wow.
With the
he's impressive.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever I'm trying to think. So what player won a Super Bowl and then won it as a coach? That's happened. I know it's happened, but with who?
Isn't it Ditka? I was saying, isn't it your guy Ditka?
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you if he was on the team that won the Super Bowl and when they beat the Dolphins. I really couldn't tell you, because that's the first one they won when they beat the Dolphins. Yeah, they lost to the Colts in Super Bowl 5, and then they beat the Dolphins the year before the Dolphins went undefeated. I couldn't tell you if Ditka was on that team or not. I really couldn't.
Sam,
probably was. Yeah.
Are you sure that Brad Underwood is a better coach than Dustin?
No, Why? I don't know why why is that stunning? That's not really that gutsy.
Because he has listen, I am like the only dude tucked here in Omaha that Nebraska's my alma mater that low-key honks for Illinois. And he drives me up the wall with his underachieving. It just caught me off guard.
Sure. The team 2 years ago did not underachieve. That was a team that lost to the national champion. And they didn't make, and this is where people get in they didn't make the Final Four. That Illinois team with Terrence Shannon and everybody else was better
top 4 or 5 coaches in the Big Ten.
What's that?
Who's top 4 or 5 coaches in the Big Ten?
In my opinion, Hoiberg, Underwood, Izzo, which I think you have to do.
Why?
Overrated.
Based on it relative to everyone else.
Have an aneurysm.
Relative to everyone else in the league.
Okay.
I think Dana's right there. Dana's done a lot. I don't think he likes his team. But you want to talk about a guy that gets his team to then play really good late in the season. Dana Altman is probably where you're going.
So Painter's not in there?
And Painter, yeah. Well, I just hadn't gotten to them all.
No,
Matt Painter's there. That's 5.
That's not a Sam indictment. That's rhetorical because he gets a lot of pushback for a guy that I kind of think is closer to, at first blush, he appears to be closer to maximizing than not.
Oh, yeah.
He wins a lot, but you don't like Painter either.
I'll take Painter over I'll take Painter over Izzo and Underwood for sure.
So I just gave you 5: Painter, Underwood, Hoiberg, Izzo, and Dana.
Okay.
I mean, where else do you want to go?
I'm just
Dusty May, I guess. That's it. That's who else would it be?
Oh, he's twisted the knife. It's fine.
He would be okay. So he's number 6. Maybe it's Mick Cronin, but I don't know.
Hey, you think Cronin likes their travel schedule, or what do you think?
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I also think that's a kind of a shtick. Like it, don't you?
Gotta be, doesn't it?
Yeah,
something every year just to
he's kind of a curmudgeon, and that it's kind of his thing, and maybe he got that from Bob Huggins. I don't know. I think it's just kind of his
Big Ten.
almost like there might be a moment when he's with his beat writers and he breaks character for just about a half second, and he kind of looks at him and gives a wink. Like it's I think some of that is showmanship, and for whatever reason. I mean, they beat Purdue, and that's when he decides he's gonna, and that's exactly when coaches do it after a big win, is when they get all upset, and moral is when they win a game. Do you know what we had to put up with just to beat Purdue? Anyway,
well, they melted that. Purdue melted down that last minute and a half too. That was incredible. But all right, stay warm. Is there any heat wave coming?
No, I do want to ask you. Okay, so I'm curious. This is about Trae Taylor.
Okay,
you're a Husker senior.
Yep.
Okay, you're part of the team. How much do you want that guy around before he's actually part of the team?
Oh, that'd be tough. Is this me at 50 or me
back then? Whatever.
22.
Yeah.
Probably not much.
Yeah. Because I know everybody took this thing as the Millard South route, and I get that, and we've got great reporting on that with Stu, and Chattel had a good thought. And I'm going to stay away from that. I'll focus on the Nebraska aspect. I really like Trae Taylor, but he's got to be thoughtful about how often he's around, because some of those guys are like, you know what, you can, when you get here, you're here, but we're playing football in 26, and we got Indiana next week. So
you should have told those great reporters, and I had to talk to them off the record. Talk to the guy that's been in the know since about December 1.
That's who they should have talked to.
But you know what I mean about, like,
I'm gonna leave that right here.
You got to be careful with the kid that's not a part of the team yet being around as much as often, and calling it a soft red shirt, which is kind of a way of saying, this is my red shirt year because I'm going to come in and I'm going to play right away. And I don't have a problem with that confidence. I'm just saying that, like,
listen,
got to handle it. Got to handle it right.
Let me give you context, because I don't want anybody. I want clarity here. So you asked me if I was a fifth-year senior, how I would look at how much I would want him around. I would say not much, but the context is if we're playing and we're winning, because you're asking me about, like, if we're winning, I'm not interested in much else that young guys bring to the table. It took me, 4 months to come around on LP, and I knew he was great, and he was right in front of my face. But he was a pup, so I didn't know in the grand scheme of things. If I'm a younger team, or I'm trying to get over the hump, I may think differently. So you have to tell me what I'm like. If we're established and we're veterans, like, I could see, give the pups a hard time. If we're young and we're kind of feeling our way along, then I may be excited about an influx of talent. I don't know if Trae is saying, hey, I'm going to be the starter, as much as, hey, I want to be around the program as much. I don't want to read into that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what he's really saying about it being a redshirt year. I think he wants to train as close to that campus as possible.
That's fair.
Like, I just want to be, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just.
I took it more.
I don't want to be like a hot take. I want to give you some depth to the answer.
I took it just more as like ingratiating himself into the program as much as possible. That's how I took it.
Yeah, well, I take it as a positive. It's a positive from his perspective, for sure. No question about it. And to be clear, I think Trae Taylor is terrific.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch his film, the ball just sort of sizzles off his hand. Like, it pops. So They got a good one there. And he's also, like I wrote today, I'm like, if you could draw up a quarterback that fits Matt Rule, the energy, the ability to give an interview, the dual threat capability without being totally a runner, it's probably Trae Taylor. Like, that's what you're looking for if you're Matt Rule. So they got a guy for sure. I hope that, like, the guys that are already on the team are just, they kind of are good with him being around as much as he is or isn't. And
I kind of liken it too, and it didn't work out, but this isn't novel. Malachi Coleman did the same.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. That's true.
He did the exact same thing, and that was after kind of splitting from his current high school team by not really finishing. You know what I mean? Like it's been done.
I certainly thought of that, and now the difference here, Trae will be in spring camp in 27, so it's really just this summer and this fall. And the other thing I wrote is that I think the idea that, well, this is just going to be Millard South 2025 all over again. I don't anticipate that, because I do feel like that Millard South team had a considerable amount of chemistry that had been built up through the junior ranks and all that other stuff, and that team was positioned to play really, really well together because they all knew each other so well. This will be a little different, I mean, Jet Tamala knew all those guys for 6 years.
Yeah,
Trae will be having to learn.
Yeah, Zach had been in the system. Omarion was there as a freshman, and
there were a lot of guys.
It'd be a little different.
Team that didn't make the headlines, that I think, had more to do with winning the way people give it credit for.
Yeah,
now Tegan Urbans and I think Urban and Zach were the ones that came to mind.
Well,
for me,
Dylan Cool a year before.
Yeah,
like those guys had been around. Now they sprinkled in the Loftons and
for sure the Jensens
and Amira Hill, but I mean, some those mainstays had.
The base of that program had been around for a while.
And like
it had.
Jet had to bite his, like Jet took some time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of work.
That went into those
outside of like Deshaun. They had plenty of additions. I'm not arguing that, but they had a decent 3-4 year core too. It's hard in an off season to get the chemistry that this previous team had, in my opinion.
I agree.
Believe me, I watched a couple of corner routes and some crossing between Zach and Amarion Jackson that you had to have been on the same page a long ass time.
Right. No, but here's the thing: Millard South's going to get more attention.
Oh yeah, that ball's coming out before he even thinks about making his break.
And Amarion was there, so it's like all you just say is like, "Damn,
that's pretty good."
But they're going to get more attention because of Trae Taylor. So what's going to happen is Millard South's going to be a spotlighted team nationally because of Taylor, and everybody's going to look at the team last year and go, "Wow, well, they were really good last year, and now they got this guy." And so, I think there's probably going to be more attention around it, and I actually think Trae's teed up to handle it. They have not had a quarterback quite like him in some time who's done every 7-on-7 circuit. And again, I think Nebraska's got a really good one.
I'm going to be very clear. You are not going to get a quarterback that could play any better in that offense than Tamala last year. I don't know if Trae Taylor's going to be a better player. I don't know what he is at the high school level. I'm just telling you, Tamala in that offense, you will not get better than what we saw last year.
I think you would know better. You would know best.
It's just not. I mean, they'd have to score 70 points a game.
Right.
You have to complete 75% of your passes, and this dude was chilling by the end of the third quarter. Like that offense was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Don't do that to Trae.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant the University of Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
That they haven't had a guy like this in a while. I think that's accurate. I think I didn't mean the state of Nebraska. I meant
just that offense. Like to drop Trae in that. Like if you give him all those same guys back again, the O-line, the wide receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but the this is what I'm a little interested to see is the minute and maybe he doesn't care, but there's two things that are going to happen. He'll be pitted against the Tamala from the previous year, which has its own nomenclature within that community. Okay, is that fair or foul?
Yeah, it's fair.
And the other thing is every time he doesn't look or play like the prowess that we've kind of talked about, there will be that phenomenon too. It's just part of the deal when you make decisions like that. You know what I mean? Fair or foul, like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it will. And then I think there'll be a more direct comparison this year between North South and your team West South, like the quarterback play, the whole thing. I think it'll be. I assume the schedules will allow for a regular season game. That's my hope.
We put them on the schedule. I'm sure they don't, like, we'll see. But
so like, I think it's going to be. Last year I thought, again, kudos to North South. I think there was a little bit of joy loss in the whole process, because when you win by that much, how much fun can it be for anybody?
I don't know.
So
do you want me to tell you about Westside 2024? It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I understand.
1995 Nebraska was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun too.
I was a little kid, but I enjoyed myself.
For sure, I remember the '95 team as well, and it was fun to watch. I think it'd be fair to say that that '95 Nebraska team was paired against teams that were theoried to be as good as them. They weren't.
You know
3 or 4 times.
You know, it was a ton of fun. 2014, 2015 North. That was about as much fun as I've ever had. That was So
there've been dominant teams before. I think this upcoming year will be with teams playing each other a little bit more that are evenly matched. That'll be good.
Yeah,
there's things that can be learned.
There's a lot of competitive. There'll be a lot of schools, a lot of individual guys that they listen, they know it'll be a very competitive year in the Metro. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. I can't wait.
Yeah, I got you. All right, buddy.
We've talked a long time. All right.
Yes, and we talked for about an hour. We appreciate you, man.
All right, take care. Bye.
That's Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. No, I think so here's where I landed on Sam's question about Trae Taylor. Not that anybody asked me, but whatever.
I've got whatever the question is that you want to answer. Let's pretend I've asked you.
Okay.
What is the question?
The question was, if you're at Nebraska right now and you're a 4th or 5th year player or whatever, how do you feel about Trae Taylor? And here's where I landed. And maybe this is unrealistic, but this is how I would like to think I feel about it, because it's how I feel about it now. Is I will take anybody that rides for Nebraska as hard as Trae Taylor does.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're in high school. I don't care if they're an assistant. I don't care if they're an analyst or a head coach or whoever.
I would agree.
Whoever is riding for Nebraska like that kid does, I'm good.
I would agree.
And if you're on the team and that bothers you for some reason, look in the mirror, because that's a you problem.
Did you see Tay Ellis's response to him posting South Florida? He's like, look, man, I'm riding with Nebraska.
Yeah.
There's no question. I'm as committed as I've ever been.
I mean, he's moving here.
But I remember where I've come from and how hard it was. I'm never gonna knock getting an offer. You guys stop making it so serious.
Yeah,
that's
somebody with way more maturity than a lot of us. Frankly,
that's what I'm like. I hope this is a microcosm of what he has to.
That's how I took it too. Is like, this is he's not. Listen, if for whatever reason
Heartline throws him the bag,
he doesn't end up at Nebraska, it's not going to be South Florida. Like, what are we talking about?
Hey,
it's not like he tweeted out an Ohio State offer. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he tweeted out a Texas offer. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. That's how I took it. It's like, this guy's appreciative of every time somebody recognizes that they believe in him, which I appreciate.
Tom Flores is the other guy, by the way. My Raider guy.
So
they've done player, assistant coach, and coach for both guys.
So Ditka didn't technically win a Super Bowl as a player. It was 63, so it was pre-Super Bowl era, but it was a championship.
It was a championship.
So
I saw the information that he wanted on Super Bowl 6.
No, the Bears only have one Super Bowl.
No, when he was with the Cowboys.
Oh, maybe, but that's not the same team. This is the same team he's coaching.
But Tom didn't either. He won it with the Chiefs and then with
Yeah,
the Raiders.
that's with Vrabel.
But they're the only two guys that have won as a player and a coach.
With Vrabel, we're talking about same
team.
Yes,
same franchise.
So that's why I brought up Ditka, because he won a championship with Chicago as both a player and a coach.
Gotcha.
That is an hour that went by really, really fast. We're going to talk to ARIF HASAN about the NFL Conference Championship weekend, Super Bowl matchup.
So Sipple's out today?
No, he's later. He's 9:40.
No, he can't do now.
What?
He must have known I was going to ask him some hard questions.
Oh, he'll be on tomorrow.
All right, I'll
We
say.
just have to wait.
Well, all right.
He was going to be on the hot seat.
But we got a reef coming up. That's
Glad
good.
there was a lot of stuff happening while I wasn't
It was
involved.
very, very, very fast.
It's fine. That's
I agree, Ben. Zach was fantastic. He was incredible.
He was
Didn't I tell you? I'm like,
yeah, you told me, and like
I told you in 7-on-7 in the summer.
Yes.
But this dude is incredible.
And not to bring up bad memories, but like that's the guy that killed you.
Oh, I know.
Like it was him.
Listen, you played 2-man, you played if he could work the hashes,
It's over. Ball game.
you can't stop it all.
Like that dude was really, really good. And that's what I meant when I said the guys that didn't get the headlines for Millard South were way better last year than people realize, and had way more to do with the winning last year than people realize.
We'll talk to Ryan Held.
Yeah.
On signing day on the 5th.
Man, he got a good group.
He recruits his ass off.
I was trying to get him to get one of my guys too, but maybe we'll see if that works out later.
Oh, did he tote the rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find him.
Because I know he grabbed Urban and Zach.
Yeah, I know. No, he did a great job in the Metro, and he got some real good players. But let's talk to a little NFL Super Bowl matchup, Conference Championship weekend with ARIF HASAN from WideLeft.Football. Coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Got in some foul trouble too. We had 3 guys that had 3 fouls for a pretty good stretch of that game. And listen, we challenged them. We challenged them hard at halftime, and we kind of took turns at them. I started with it. Nate went, then I went back at them, and championship teams respond the right way, and that's exactly what our guys did. I felt really fortunate to only be down 6 at halftime. They go 9 for 20 from 3. And, we didn't play a great offensive game in that first half, and we were only down 2 possessions. So that's what I left them with. And if we went out and turned it around and got back to being who we are, we were going to have a chance to win the game. And, I got a ton of respect for Nico and what he's done here in his first year. They play a great system. They're leading assist rate in the nation, and they just have so much movement and got the ball in the pocket. They exposed us. We adjusted in the second half, and I thought our defense was really on point. That's, I thought, what turned the game around. We weren't taking the ball out of the net every time down the floor, and we got Pryce loose finally after missing a couple. But, that's the confidence he's playing with right now. I think he was 0 for 4 or 5 to start, and then he got it rolling, and our guys did a really good job finding him.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
There's a little flea flicker. Back to May, who throws it down the field, is caught. It is Hollins with the reception.
What an atmosphere out here. Battle the elements. Love this team. How about the defense? Love each and every one of them, man. Pass her back, baby. We got to go win one.
Beautiful spiraling deep kick. Smith who bobbled. Oh, he lost it. Seattle recovers. Darnold to throw. Back, hit, throws, end zone, caught. Touchdown. Chief Bobo. 8 seconds left. Loading up near side McKEWON. Is he out of bounds?
Oh, my God.
With 3 seconds. They're going to run the clock. That's going to do it. The Seahawks soar to Super Bowl 60.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We're here with ARIF HASAN from WideLeft.Football. Talk a little NFL. ARIF, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
We are good. It's throwing me. We usually get you in the stream, so I get to see the sweet studio setup you're usually rocking with, but we're gonna make do, man. It's good to hear from you. Is it warm where you are? Warmer, should I say?
Well, I'm in Dallas right now for the Shrine game, and it is warmer, but there is a lot of ice on the roads, and as you can imagine, these folks are not used to driving around on ice, so there's a lot of careful, slow moving around here right now.
Let me ask you something. Hey, there was a lot of explaining in the press conference yesterday, whether you're McDonald and you're defending Darnold, whether you're Peyton and you want fourth down back, whether you're McVay, and it's surreal that it's over. Lots of coaches chit-chatting. Of the two teams that lost, if they got a mulligan, whose outcome would be more different?
I think I'd have to go with McVay. I think he mentioned in his presser that he just didn't see this happening, which I understand you're kind of in the throes of the season. But his point was that this is one of the best group of people he's ever worked with, despite having been, the head coach of another Super Bowl winning roster. And I kind of have to agree. This might be one of the better teams that we've seen in recent history not make it to the Super Bowl. This is a really fantastic Rams team. Again, the Seahawks team, I think, was better. It is, I think, a historically extremely good team. They just happen to face off against each other in the conference championship game. But I don't know that you can rely on like a Jared Stidham to kind of pull you across consistently.
It's interesting because I've been a Darnold supporter, much to the vitriol of the local folks here for a couple of years now. But abashedly, I liked him coming out of SC too. So my defense of Darnold goes back a long time. What do you think? You said historically good. What is it about this Seattle team that's captured your eye?
Yeah, I mean, some of the high level statistics are there, like DVOA, points allowed per game, something like 17 points allowed per game. And that's all true. That's some of the best marks that we've seen in recent history, especially in this current offensive environment. But I just think you go through that roster and you see high-level play all over. So you got Leonard Williams up front. You've got Ernest Jones at the second level. You've got really excellent play from Devin Witherspoon. And Nick Emenwari has showed up in a huge way this year. So they have the ability to solve a lot of problems defensively, which you take a look at some really good defenses over the past couple of years, they can solve a lot of problems, but not every problem. And great defenses can solve essentially every problem that they're faced with. And that's what they can do. And despite kind of having some younger players, some aggressive players, they maintain a lot of eye discipline. They've got really good chops against the run, and they rotate their coverages a ton, which you're not actually seeing that much this year across multiple types of coverages. You see people rotate from cover 3 to cover 4 or whatever, but they'll play any coverage that you'll likely see all season against anybody at any time.
ARIF, when you're looking at this Seattle and New England matchup, we were talking to somebody earlier that thinks Seattle is clearly, and sounds like you might agree here, clearly a better football team than New England. Is there a normal path to victory? And by normal, I just mean like nothing super weird happens for the Patriots in your mind, or is this, hey, the Seahawks have to kind of give this one away?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I mean, obviously Drake May is playing really outstandingly. And so when you when you do the entire matchup and you break it down, like, yeah, Seattle is I think quite clearly a better overall team, but May is a better quarterback, and that's always going to give you a shot. That's always going to give you a chance. We didn't actually get to see what I thought was going to happen in that Patriots-Broncos game. The Broncos, obviously, a really, really good defense up there with Seattle and Los Angeles for being outstanding defensively. But the one area that kind of would have made the most sense, or does make the most sense to attack them, is to try and attack them deep if you can get through kind of their blitz-heavy approach. We're going to see that again. I think that this time it'll be a little bit more successful, and I think we're going to see some deep shots to Diggs, some deep shots to Booty, and I think that's where we're going to see it, because we know that Reek Woolen is up and down. We saw a little bit of a conversation on the sidelines about that. We know that Devin Witherspoon, who's playing really fantastically, is not as consistent a corner as someone like a Christian Gonzalez or a Derek Stingley or a Pat Surtain. He's really good, but he's not as consistent. And if you can take advantage of an inconsistent cornerback by taking deep shots, I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a pretty volatile play style. You're not going to be able to kind of consistently rack up first downs like you might be used to doing. I don't know how much Mike Vrabel likes that approach, but they are the best deep ball passing offense, and I think they really need to leverage that against what Seattle might be able to do.
Let me ask you something, ARIF. If you're talking about, I want to go back to both teams that didn't win yesterday, Denver and the Rams. Rams I picked to go to the Super Bowl. Denver was the team that all year I like. These guys are really, really good. Not that either one of those were hot takes. It's just that Denver seemed to get more of the but with Bo Nix. If you're playing the long game, you're looking at kind of the cap situations, both teams, how they've been built. The Rams rebuilt after going through cap hell and mortgaging all their leverage. Peyton has been a little more systematic with kind of this youth movement and how he's built this defense. If you're playing the long game, is there an advantage with either franchise if you're going to project upward trajectory?
I think that it would make the most sense to pick the Broncos there. I think because that approach has been so evident and consistent with what they're doing. Obviously, they've got some pretty good veterans, somebody like a Zach Allen, but having the performance that you did from Nick Benito, Pat Surtain, having those performances kind of ground you as you move forward, having Bo Nix and Franklin, like all of those players, Cortland Sutton, who hopefully will have better hands next year, having all of those, it does make sense to think about that team as being more grounded and having a more sustainable approach. But I really love the way the Rams just approach roster building, because I know everyone was talking about the F them picks era, and I get it. But they very shortly after that had the largest rookie class I've ever seen show up to camp. And I think their 53-man had something like 23 rookies just 2-3 years ago. And so they had like Kobe Turner, and they had a couple of really good undrafted guys. So there are some really young players on that Rams team that are showing out in a big way. And they're a little bit less healthy, obviously, as a quarterback than the Broncos were heading into these championship games. And they still put up a really remarkable fight. So I think the Rams, their approach is flexible enough that I am going to bet on them maybe in the medium term until Stafford retires. But I don't want to knock the way that Denver has really added to that youth and that core of talent in answering this. I think that they're both set up really well. It's just a question of if the Rams have the ability to find another quarterback soon.
So, we're talking about AFC here, and I think some people maybe feel like New England is a little underdoggy. Maybe it's because of the back-to-back 4 and 13s. I don't really know. But as you kind of look through the AFC, obviously Denver was really good all year. They lose their quarterback. That's kind of an outlier that you can't anticipate. But do you think there are other teams that you look at and you're like, that team was probably better than New England over the course of the year? Maybe they should have been in the championship. Or do you think New England is fairly representative as one of the 1 or 2 best teams all year from the AFC?
Yeah, I think it is fair to say that New England is fairly represented as one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the AFC. And I think some of that is just a lot of these teams kind of fell apart at the end. And that's why we saw, the Ravens get rid of Harbaugh, why we saw the Bills get rid of McDermott. They just weren't approaching things with the level of consistency we expect from talented rosters and talented quarterbacks like that, which to me is most likely a coaching problem. I know why they made those moves. And New England was able to maintain consistency despite, like what you said, all of those questions. Like, is the bottom going to fall out from under them? Is Drake May having kind of like this anomaly season that's going to come back to bite them? Is that schedule, going to trick us into thinking they're better than they are? That kind of stuff. And I understand all of that, but when they've had to play up to higher level competition, they've done it really well. Like I've mentioned about the defense, I think that they do have the ability to solve some problems. They've got some explosive running in Henderson. They've got some consistent running in Stevenson. They can throw intermediate. They can throw deep. They've got a pretty decent-ish screen game. So they've got a lot of ways to attack defenses. They've got a pretty good defense themselves, probably the best defensive tackle pair in the NFL, in Barmore and Milton Williams. So there are a lot of ways that they can kind of solve problems and win against like different types of situations that I think kind of went under discussed when we kind of projected out all of these other AFC teams.
Let me ask you something, Riff, because we're talking about kind of these jobs, and it's kind of a 2-in-1, but I want to get the first one out of the way here. Excuse me. We've seen the Nagys, the Bieniemys, the McDaniels. We've also seen the Cohens, the Ben Johnsons, even Stefanski to some degree. They're always going to be pit against the McVays and Shanahans, not the Mike McDaniels. When you look at offensive coordinators and their prowess, what do you think is the disconnect between having it reverberate in the building from an overarching head coaching perspective versus just being good offensive coordinators?
Yeah, if I had a great answer to that question, I would be in a front office. I think so many teams are trying to solve this problem and answer this question. But to me, my best guess at this answer is understanding exactly what you said, understanding the difference between coaching and scheming, understanding the difference between, being in a building as a leader and being in the building as a contributor. There's a lot of really great offensive minds and offensive coordinators throughout the league. A lot of them do get a lot of chances, and then they don't kind of meet the moment, which makes sense. The kinds of things that test you as an offensive coordinator are not the things that test you as a head coach.
So I kind of listen to people that differentiate between, Shanahan, McVay, what happened with McDaniel, even Steichen to some degree. There's this thing that the experts talk about where it's the prevailing thought permeates the building, not just on one side of the ball. When you're looking at leadership in its totality, do you think that what are some underlying differentiators in your opinion between being just micro and having good offensive philosophies being macro?
I think you can kind of apply those kind of micro level philosophies to an overall organizational schema. And I think some of the really good offensive head coaches that emerged as coordinators with really good schemes have a good understanding that they can't just hire a defensive coordinator and just say, that guy's going to take care of that side of the ball. I'm going to take care of my side of the ball, because that's not what it's about. And a really good example of this actually is McVay. I think what he does is he's got a really good approach to trying to be innovative and flexible and adaptable to the circumstances at hand. I was actually here at the Shrine Bowl, I was talking to a couple of members of various analytics staffs, and one of the things that kind of consistently came up is that the Rams with Sean McVay are ahead of the curve when it comes to findings in public analytics. So, they were the first to use a lot of 11 personnel. They were the first to use this year a lot of 13 personnel. They were the first to, have a wide receiver like Puka kind of insert into the B gap and run a route from there. And that's fine. Those are really good offensive schemes. But when you take a look at what McVay does in terms of hiring defensive coordinators, they also are innovative. They're also ahead of the curve. Having Brandon Staley way back, having having all of the Chris Shula, having all of these guys that have established backgrounds and forcing them to kind of figure out what's coming next defensively in terms of trends and being the trend setters instead of the trend followers allows them to be extremely capable. And having that kind of organizational philosophy run throughout allows them to adapt to, losing Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and losing Brandon Staley and creating new defensive schemes or new defensive approaches that allow them, again, to kind of solve problems. And so I think, Shanahan, I think he does something very similar where, defenses have to, like their offense, have not that many approaches, but look like they have a ton of approaches. They call it the illusion of complexity on offense. I think that shows up a lot on their defense, where their rush 4 packages will look a lot different from each other, but ultimately they have 4 guys running up the same gaps they typically do. They've got coverages in the same spot, and just making sure that the philosophy that made them successful as offensive play callers becomes a building wide philosophy as opposed to kind of ignoring one side of the ball.
I'm sort of fascinated by this because you're talking about data and kind of the way teams go about their business, and it made me think of a story that I heard over the weekend, and I can't remember who reported it, but about the way the Cleveland Browns go about their head coaching search and how it's quite a bit different than the way everybody else does. And it's easy to look at the Browns and be like, well, they suck, and it's like laugh at them and be like, well, clearly that's not working. But I do find it kind of fascinating. It seems like they're at least trying something different, as opposed to just going through the same processes that everyone else does, maybe trying to find a version of Sean McVay or someone that can have that level of impact. How familiar are you with kind of Cleveland's hiring processes and how different they really are from the rest of the NFL?
I was talking to a couple of people who cover the Browns who have, kind of good knowledge of what goes on in that building, because I was really curious about this question too. And I've been familiar with other kind of head coaching searches, obviously the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell. I, kind of checked in at some of these other head coaching searches, like with the Steelers and the Giants. And first of all, what's really interesting is that all of these teams have radically different processes and approaches to the way that they'll go about finding a head coach. I find that really fascinating. One of the things about the Browns, though, is we're seeing all of this reporting about, they got to submit an essay, they got to take these personality tests and multiple choice tests and stuff. And it sounds really onerous. It sounds like so much. And it's like all of this to coach the Browns. And it's funny, I get it. But that's not that unique. There are a couple of teams around the league that when they conduct head coaching searches will make the coaches take these personality tests, make the coaches, jump through these hoops that we would consider quote unquote homework. And part of the reason that some of these coaches are pulling out, they might be talking about this kind of testing thing, but sometimes it's for a different reason. Like, hey, I kind of got the sense that I wasn't going to be the guy. And so he pulled out of the search and maybe leaked to Tom Pelissero about the process. There are other guys that, and I totally understand this, if you have a good understanding that you're being interviewed to fulfill the Rooney Rule, it is such an insult to have to go through and write a personal essay and do all of these multiple choice tests and all of that, right? So I understand why, if you don't think that you're a serious candidate, you're not going to go through with that. But there are other teams that do this kind of thing. And I do kind of appreciate attempting to be comprehensive about it, especially because in previous searches, they have been this comprehensive. And then Jimmy Haslam has intervened and picked a different head coach than the one that their kind of this data-driven approach has recommended. I can't get into kind of who they've picked in previously as their top candidates. That's not my information to share. But I can tell you it's someone that's been very successful that they had as their top priority candidate using this process that with another team has made the playoffs, right? And they didn't end up going with that guy because Jimmy Haslam intervened. And so I actually don't have a problem with this. It is still a high value job. There's only 32 head coaching positions in the NFL. It's hard to get one of them. And so to just say, nah, it's the Browns, it's really hard to get an interview with any team. And so I think that they kind of understand that. And if a head coach isn't willing to put up with that in order to coach the Browns, first of all, you don't want someone that's not enthusiastic about coaching your organization. And second, you don't want someone that isn't willing to put in a bit of extra work to prove that they're capable. So I understand where they're coming from.
ARIF, when you're talking about, we're always trying to stay ahead of the curve and find the next thing. And the whole Trinidad Chambliss discussion is fascinating with what happens with quarterback eligibility. You're right where you are, trying to study, get information ahead of the curve for the draft. Is there an FCS guy or player, quarterback type that you think can kind of buck the system from what we're seeing, with how poor this quarterback draft looks, at least early on paper?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping to find that here at the Shrine Games, and I got to tell you,
you're doing it right. I mean, Cole Payton is from my high school. There's a lot of Chase Mason at SDSU who may get another year, but there are a lot of these guys out there. Like what are you seeing as something that you think can be some indicators?
So I think number one, and unfortunately I didn't see that this week. We'll see what happens at senior. But number one, you just got to see if they can, really quickly just make the throws, which I know sounds so pedantic and small and whatever, but that was the problem here, right? I think that a lot of these quarterbacks couldn't make a bunch of the throws that you're required to make in the NFL. But what's really important here is how they kind of step up to the challenge of going up against these guys that have competed at a G5 or a P4 level and attack, them aggressively if they're defensive players, or develop rapport with them really quickly if they're offensive players. Try to figure out kind of how players respond to different types of motivation and leadership and kind of meet them where they're at. So what a lot of scouts here do, they don't pay as much attention to if the quarterback made the right read. That's important still, of course, but you can work on that. And you've got a body of work to fall back on to see if that's something that's within their wheelhouse. They look at stuff like body language, right? They take a look at how these quarterbacks interact with all of these other guys. And in fact, there was a throwing session before any of these practices where all of the quarterbacks on the Shrine roster came in and threw to guys that weren't on the Shrine roster. There's a bunch of trial receivers that were here. And kind of how they interacted with guys that they didn't even know were going to be here. They're all just local guys that, are working out in Dallas or live in Dallas or something like that. How they kind of operate within that, how they talk to those guys, that's really big because kind of what questions they ask, how they kind of encourage or motivate them, that's a part of the process to try and figure out if these guys have the ability to kind of adapt at the next level and take advantage of what you're clearly seeing as a hole in the quarterback class. I don't see it because I don't see, any of these guys throwing a tight spiral. I don't see any of these guys, throwing deep with any level of accuracy. But that is probably how you would kind of approach it when you're trying to look for some of these FCS guys.
Is there anybody outside of quarterbacks that, or you can include quarterbacks if you really wanted to, but I feel like we answered that. Is there anybody outside of that quarterback group that you've been really impressed by that maybe people wouldn't have on the tip of their tongue with the Shrine Bowl?
Yeah, I think the Toledo corner, Avery Smith. I think Marcus Allen, the North Carolina corner, both of them have been really, really good. I really enjoyed, there's this tight end, Traore, who was born in the Ivory Coast, lived in England, came to Florida, I think IMG, and is a Mississippi State tight end. He's looked really outstanding here. One of the things I like about Shrine is kind of see players respond to some of the criticisms that they've received. So, for example, Eric Gentry here, he's 6'6", 220. He's a linebacker. He probably should be playing like shooting guard, right? He has such a unique body type, and he's well aware of it. And so he's really proactive about talking to people about why he is passionate about playing linebacker, why he thinks that's a really good fit and a role for him. And he's done a really good job here, kind of demonstrating that even when he's popped with contact from some of these guards, even when he has to kind of deal with, sorting through the trash, he's got the ability to make plays at the line of scrimmage or be effective in coverage. And when you've got a guy that long, there are a lot of things that you can do. You expand your coverage range, essentially, that kind of free up the rest. So I really like what Eric Gentry's done. The Duke center here, Parker, he played tackle the entire year. Everyone kind of thinks maybe he should play center. He's really enthusiastic about that. The very first thing he said in the interview is, "I'm here to play center." And he approached that proactively. So there are a couple of really fun guys here that that stood out to me.
Athlete at center.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's used to being out in space. Sometimes those guys don't like to play in the dark, or should I say with guys to their left and to their right.
Yeah, and he's approached that really enthusiastically. Like, he's done a lot of work making sure that he's in conversation with the guards next to him. Another guy that I've really enjoyed talking to here is the Kentucky guard, Josh Braun, who he's like 6'8". You wouldn't think that he's a guard, but that's where he's best. And he understands, that's where he played at Kentucky. He understands that a lot of people want to see him at tackle. So he's played out at tackle, but he, Emil Wagner, Parker, they've all had like a lot of conversations about what those changes look like and how they need to adapt to the fact that maybe they got to play next to someone on either side of them, or they have to pay attention to the space on the left or right of them. He's approached this really enthusiastically, and you're right, having that level of space, it gives you a lot of optionality. It allows you to choose how you're going to attack an edge rusher, whereas at center, you don't have that many choices. You just got to deal with the phone booth that you're in. And that's something that this guy has really appreciated.
How is and now it's I'm drawing a blank. Chapel, A&M DB. How's he?
The A&M DB, he's been all right. He's certainly been better than the Texas DBs here. So I'll give him that. I'm sure he's happy about that. I haven't seen him make too many plays. I also haven't seen him make too many mistakes, which as a defensive back, that's actually not a bad place to be. You want to do a little bit more, but if people aren't calling you out, that's not too bad. I think also Jordan Kennedy, the Oregon corner, has looked really good here too.
How about Hanks King?
Oof. Not a solid set of practices from him, I'll be honest.
So
Klubnik looks probably the most capable, and I think that's more an indication about the quality of the rest of the quarterbacks here than it is that Klubnik looks really outstanding, that he's making good on the fact that the second half of the season looked a lot better than the first half.
Baron Morton too.
Boy, yeah.
I didn't want to go there. I'll let you. I let you do the talking.
Yeah, Baron Morton. I'll say this about him: he loves talking ball. That's fun. I love it when he breaks down kind of the. I think he was talking about why slot the other day for about 10 minutes. That's a ton of fun. But in terms of functionally kind of applying that, he's not throwing a very tight spiral. That ball is kind of a duck in the air a lot of the time, and a lot of these defensive backs have been taking advantage of it. A lot of these receivers have had to wait up when they get open deep. Baron Morton is probably one of the bigger culprits when it comes to that underthrowing on deep accuracy, and just the timing hasn't been there for him. And which timing is one that matters a little bit less to me at these Shrine games, but there's like a baseline level that you hope to see that I haven't seen yet from Morton.
All right, last one from me. Have you seen much from Perkins Jr.? Well, it's either he or Marvin Jones Jr., whichever one you think is the better prospect.
Not much, unfortunately. I've been pulling away so that I can cover the story about the Hula Bowl, which is a crazy story. That'll be published at Wide Left soon. But unfortunately, it has pulled me away from watching some prospects I really wanted to take a look at. Burke is another one that I just haven't had good eyes on. That unfortunately I can't give you more. I wish I could.
Can I go? How about Wetchen from Iowa?
Oh, everyone's talking about him here.
Surprised at his route running?
Yeah, well, because most people see him as a returner. He was like, wide receiver 3 or something like that at Iowa. And so we wanted to see kind of what his route running would look like. That quickness is showing up. The idea that he could be a really good returner and kind of translate that into receiver. I think personally, he is playing at a level that would suggest he could play wide receiver in the NFL, right? Which is fantastic news, I think. But right. I think when we move out from the practices, I think primarily he's going to be a core special teamer for a while. But man, he's put in a lot of good work. This week.
All right, keep an eye on Sierra Wright for us because I want to see if you can give me a report before they kick.
Oh, I did actually take a look at Sierra Wright, mostly because of the Space Jam stuff, if I'm being honest. But he's a fun talker. He's focused. He's looked pretty good here. I wouldn't say he's looked as good as Kennedy or Marcus Allen or anything like that. But it hasn't looked like he's lost or anything like that. I think he's playing at a level that shows that he's pretty capable here. And again, his personality is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's I think that might be his best attribute is he's a pro's pro. He's extremely mature.
Mm-hmm.
That's our guy, ARIF HASAN, wideleft.football. ARIF, appreciate the time as always. Enjoy icy Dallas, Texas. Not often we can enjoy the Shrine Bowl.
Thanks for having me.
That is ARIF HASAN. Good stuff there.
Yeah, so we stretched him.
I'll be honest, mostly the Space Jam stuff.
That's funny.
That is funny. No, I could understand the fascination though. Like if you weren't watching Nebraska football and you're like, wait, the kid that played in Space Jam is at the Shrine Bowl right now? What's happening?
And you look at him, and he's about as unassuming as Shane.
He's good. He's pretty good height for a corner though, right? He's
okay.
like 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
He's just.
I get he doesn't look like.
He's just thin.
Yeah.
But he's pretty physical for his frame.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about Marvin.
Yeah, that
Jones
sounds
Jr.
familiar.
And Harold Perkins.
Yeah.
I mean, Perkins was all the rage.
Everybody loved him.
Going into his senior year.
Yeah.
Or his final year, like all the rage.
Yeah.
Perkins Jr., Perkins Jr., Perkins Jr. It's like,
here we are. Here we are. I feel like people, I talked about this with wide receivers the other day. I feel like corner is another spot where people don't get it right a lot.
I should have asked him about Allen at Carolina. He's a really good athlete.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I thought it was really interesting. I don't remember where I heard this. Nick Saban was talking about what he was looking for in defensive backs, especially corners. Mm-hmm. And he said, I was just going to get the best athletes that I could find, and we were getting killed. And he goes, relatively speaking for Bama. And he goes, then I started looking for baseball players because they can track, like outfielders.
Track a ball.
He's like, I wanted guys that could track a ball in the air.
That helped me returning punts a ton.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, right? It's a very similar tracking a fly ball versus tracking a punt in terms of trajectory and trying to line it up. But I thought that was super interesting. I'd never heard somebody talk about that before, for defensive backs specifically, about being able to track a ball in the air and how, like, he's like, yeah, obviously I still have to find the guys with the base level requirement. But like, it's things like that where I was like, yeah, that's probably why you're better at this than most people, Nick. That's
when you see that kind of stuff, by the way, like in the Rams game, does that make you cringe?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought about you when that happened.
That's what they're trained to do.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you do make mistakes, so don't let me act like.
No, it's just tough, especially in that spot, right? Like it kind of makes your stomach tighten.
How would you have answered the question?
Which one?
When I asked him of the coaches, because they were very apologetic. I thought the pressers yesterday were interesting.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, the McVay.
A lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas.
Yeah, the McVay versus Peyton.
The Patriots-Broncos game was much more one-play-ish.
Sure.
Than Seattle. So I was surprised to hear him give the Rams, but I understood the context because the Rams are really, really good.
The Rams are really, really good, but I also thought,
why don't you think Peyton took the points early? I get it. You don't know if the 3 is going to matter, but you think the 3 is going to matter.
Yeah, and also,
I love the sigh.
They knew the You knew the forecast, right? Like they have people.
I guess, but
have people that
see the
but did it come
hour overlay?
No,
like
I did.
That was fast.
It was fast, but like they all listen. I've heard these people talk about it before. They're like, "Hey, this storm's gonna come in."
I think he's mad.
No, I don't understand how you wouldn't like that. Can't catch you off guard. Like you have to know that's a possibility that at some point during the game, conditions might get to a point where getting points isn't going to be easy, right? Like that has to be on your mind at some point, and so. If I'm Peyton at any point during that game that I feel like I can get points, I'm going to take points.
So do you feel like if we replayed both those games yesterday, I think Rams would have the most different outcome?
No, I think Denver wins more often than the Rams do if you change
even
things.
With Stidham.
In terms of
I loved his answer because it was the case that he made.
The case he made was more often than not Stidham's just not going to get you there.
Yeah, I could see his answer.
Which I get. But if you play that out more often than not, I thought Denver was closer to being the better team, even though the Rams are way good. Like, Seattle's really, really good. I don't think
it's funny to hear people say that now.
I mean, they are, right? Like,
I want to, and it's not your fault,
right?
But I do want to strangle you.
Why?
Because these guys are good, man.
They are really good.
And everybody kept giving me the but Darnold thing. And I get it because
of how last year
wet the bed. But
of how last year ended. I was happy for him yesterday. I was. Even though I was probably pulling a little bit for the Rams.
I was too, because remember
that's who we both picked.
Yeah, week 9, I was like, God, I'm gonna go with the Rams because of Stafford.
And it's who we both picked on Friday.
But it was Rams Seahawks. Once I knew Tampa, because I picked Tampa Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm very familiar with both those teams, obviously, since they play the 49ers all the time. The team that scared me this year was Seattle.
Even though the Rams defensively, like, inexplicably wet the bed the last third of their games.
The Rams, yes. Yeah. The 49ers couldn't score on Seattle.
Oh,
now,
I know.
They didn't have any players left either, so that was a factor.
They're throwing to me and Shane.
Yeah, and Shane could not get open.
I mean, 3rd and 9, they're like, where's McCaffrey? Where's McCaffrey? I was like, you guys have any receivers?
Where's Kittle? Oh, no, he's in the hospital. Juszczyk, can I get a fullback? No. So I get that, but like the Seattle is the team that scared me as a 49ers fan. The Rams were really, really good. I felt better about playing them. So that's what I'm reading into the way that game played out. Also, I have a really hard time with the punt returns and being like, that's not a coaching thing. That's like they made mistakes. So I don't know if you can't change coaching decisions and say, oh, they get that back. Right? You could change a coaching decision and say, yeah, you get 3 points. All of a sudden we're having a different game in Denver. That to me is and listen, in a 1-game sample size, if you're only scoring 10 points, I feel like you can get there with Stidham. Now they're not winning the Super Bowl with Stidham. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he looked, which,
I mean, he hasn't thrown a pass in 2 years.
I know, which is why I couldn't understand why Romo kept fawning early about his prowess. And I'm like, you're going to have to come back and get this.
I know that you were not feeling Brady yesterday. Romo was so much worse than Brady yesterday.
He's worse just in general.
Yes, he was. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I don't love about Brady, and I don't think he's very good.
They should have never moved off
Greg Olsen
as the one.
Greg Olsen was good. Give Brady some reps as a 2 or a 3.
Like Olsen, they shouldn't have.
Greg Olsen was really good.
Yeah, I mean, bless Nance Hart as he's gotten older. Like, he's learned to play those dynamics over these last handful of years.
I have to give Nance a lot of credit for the way he handles Romo. Like, Romo bothers me way more than Brady does.
It's incredible.
It was Romo off or on when he was talking about the 5-year window with the new hire at quarterback and coach?
I think I hope is that he's alluding to the rookie deal.
Well, I thought so. He didn't even talk about the part that he didn't talk about. He was talking about coaches, and I go, well, no bleep, it changes your future for the next 5 years, Tony. What are we talking about?
I thought that I was hoping that's what he. Because I don't want to unnecessarily do it, but sometimes he just invites it. He's like, oh, and his maturity. He's talking about Stidham early. Oh, his maturity. You can tell he's just been in the league, and he's such a veteran. And oh, look at this throw. And I was like,
lots of guys been in the league for a long time. You wanted to trot Chase Daniel out there if Patrick Mahomes ever got hurt?
I'm like, this dude hasn't thrown a like.
He hasn't thrown a ball in 2 years.
I'm like, Tony,
what are we doing?
Oh.
Also,
his receivers didn't. If they make a couple of catches, maybe. But I mean, May ran. Do you know how many carries May had? Not including the kneels.
Not 9.
So of the 6 rushing first downs.
Oh, he had like 4 of them, didn't he?
He had 6.
He had all 6
rushing first downs.
Yeah, okay.
On how many of those? How many carries?
6 rushing. Did he get a first down every time he carried the ball?
His first 7 carries were for 6 first downs.
Jeez. He was really good. He made really good decisions yesterday.
He's sneaky fast.
Oh, he was. Did you see him get the corner on the guy? I think it was linebacker.
Stiff arm was the best.
Yeah.
That wasn't the play though. The 29-yard scramble where he split that crease.
That's the one I was saying where he beats the guy to the corner.
I was like,
he goes up the middle, gets to the sideline, beats the guy to the corner. That's because that linebacker or safety, I don't remember which it was, did not think that he had wheels like that.
Like he just hit the X button.
You forgot that he comes from a basketball family, man.
I know it sounds like I'm just going all in, but to T-Mac's point, the very first throw.
Oh, yeah.
My man is lamenting that he's ready for the moment. And I was like, it's awful early for that.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty easy throw.
I'm not doing that. Travis, you're probably right. They probably do one with Bo Nix. I think that's right.
I don't know if there's any question.
Yeah, I think that's a super fair statement.
Which and I'm listen. It's not because I think Travis could be my GM on my dysfunctional team that people are drafting for me, but that has to be a gut punch.
You can't tell me that Bo Nix isn't worth more than 3 points.
But didn't the snow kind of even it out though?
I could see that
second half.
I could see that argument.
Second half, the weather really tamped things down, but I think Denver would have been in a better position heading into the second half if you've got Bo Nix.
I could see that argument. Just the inability of all the times that Stidham didn't pull the ball down.
Yeah. Like Nix takes those.
Go.
All those ones that you saw from Drake May, Bo Nix can almost match those.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm going to fawn over Drake May because, as you know, that's who I wanted. I'm like,
yeah, that was your guy.
Yeah, that's who I want. I'm like, there's no way he's going to get to Pittsburgh.
No. But that was your favorite guy of the draft.
That was my favorite guy of that draft.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really have one. I wasn't super high on May.
Was it Porter? Who did we get? We were picking like 17th or 18th.
What year was that?
They all escape me when it comes.
Is it 24? That's 2024, right?
To the Drake May draft.
I think it's 2024 draft.
It wasn't Porter. It was There's lots of guys. I remember one time I wanted them to take Jack Campbell, Drake May. I will forever.
So Drake May was that's 2024.
Yep.
Pitt took.
What was the pick?
20.
Yeah, I said 18, 19.
You know who it was? If I give you position, can you get it?
Probably.
Offensive line?
Yeah. Old boy from Georgia.
Nope.
Who was it?
Washington. Troy Fautanu.
Yeah, which I liked.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pick.
Yeah.
You're not getting. I mean, he's not getting to you. He's not getting to you at 20.
But the funny thing was people felt like Drake May was getting rushed early.
Yeah, because he didn't have a ton of starts.
He was getting pushed up to that. I'm like, fudge, I take Drake May every day that ends in Y.
Because he doesn't. What was his? He didn't have what he was under that 20 starts in college, wasn't he?
Ooh, it's close.
He didn't have a lot. He didn't have a lot.
No, I know. You're talking about is it Parcells checklist?
Yeah, his is 30 though, which I dropped that down to like 25 because nobody's getting. I'm not a lot.
And I think you have to hit 7 of the draftable quarterback traits.
Yes. Yeah. He might be at 26.
Yeah.
26. So that's not bad.
I wasn't.
In today's day and age, that's not terrible.
And he had missed a few games with his injuries too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's not as bad as like a Ryan Tannehill who had like 9.
Oh Lord.
Honestly, it's a miracle Ryan Tannehill lasted as long as he did.
This is a heck of a coaching matchup, though, quietly.
Oh, in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, because Vrabel can scheme defense. And
yeah.
We know McDonald can.
Yeah, this will be fascinating. Can I see? I'm already sick of something.
Wait, we just got the 2 teams.
Dude, it happened last night. Like within an hour of Seattle winning. I was already sick of it.
All right, go.
The Super Bowl rematch. It's on for revenge. No one on these 2 teams was there.
That would be. Is that like
not a soul?
Is that like your Bengals Niners rematch? Ken Anderson in Montana.
Yeah, like no one was there. Who cares?
Versus Tim Krumrie breaking his leg.
This isn't
X amount of years later.
I hate that. It's not even in the same neighborhood. Of these could be these are 2 totally different franchises. It makes me so mad.
That's not a media thing. That would probably be the fan bases.
No, it would. It was a lot of verified accounts yesterday.
I wouldn't know. I don't have my Twitter back yet.
Did
you see my new house?
I did, man. Good for you.
Yeah. If I got that Escalade, I'd pick you up.
I appreciate that.
I wouldn't buy an Escalade though.
What would be your go-to? If you're just got bleep you money, what's the go-to car?
You're gonna laugh.
Well, no, I'm interested
because obviously I could fit it in my garage.
Yeah.
I want a pickup truck.
Oh, you've always liked trucks.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, I
want a pickup truck.
We got our deal with Edwards, right?
Yeah.
So they let us use.
Thank you for letting me off the hook because I don't want like a fast. I don't care.
No, I don't care about sports cars at all. I want a big SUV. I don't like so we're not that far away. So they let us use for the Bud Crawford parade. They let us use one of their trucks as the lead car, right? So I went to go pick it up because I was the one that was available. Whew, that thing was.
What'd you get?
So it was the GMC Yukon Denali pickup. My God.
I want something with like a flatbed.
With a flatbed?
With a bed.
Oh, like a truck, like a regular truck. Okay. Flatbed's like.
No, I don't mean like you can haul other cars.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? No, this thing was.
And I don't mean the big ones that like people are obnoxious with.
You're not like lifting the tires or anything?
I just want Shane, do you remember when I had that Silverado and it took me 64 times to park at my other because the
like the distance in front of the car?
Yes. I was gonna say the hood space.
Yeah, no, I get
but
you.
that's not what it is.
No, but the distance from
from the dash to the hood was so far.
Yeah.
My depth was screwed up.
So that was actually I've test driven a few trucks. That was actually one of the things that like I kind of liked about the Denali, besides the fact that it was just like balled out inside, like it was pretty sweet. Is like it didn't feel like it felt like pretty okay driving.
Yeah.
Because sometimes trucks I feel a little like they're a little big.
I thought about like a Jeep, but we were at West Side the other day and I parked far away.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Jernigan. He like poked his head in the basketball game, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "I'm walking out to my car. You want to walk with me?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, buddy, I know you haven't seen me. You miss me." I was like, "Oh man, just keep me company." And he ended up giving me a ride to my car in his Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how people buy those things. It was freezing in there.
Oh, really?
Like he's like a Jeep,
like
guy.
a Wrangler.
Like, yes.
Oh, I'm not a Wrangler guy. I'm a Grand Cherokee or a Wagoneer. I've only driven.
Fudge. If I was going to get in this, I could have walked.
I'm not doing Wranglers. That's like the funny thing about Wranglers too is most of the people that have them, like they're not off-roading. So like, what are we doing?
I don't know. My neighbor around
is Jernigan an off-roader? Would he take it like?
Oh, I'm sure.
Is he going to like Moab?
He doesn't have a lot of limits.
Okay.
He's like he doesn't. I don't think he's like.
Yeah, if I'm going,
he's uninhibited. That's what I like.
I like the comfort Jeeps.
Yeah,
I'm not doing the
although
Wrangler.
he would burn ducks.
Yeah,
he's not. No, he's not a duck guy.
Well, come on now.
My neighbor has Jeep parties.
Really?
Oh, they roll mob deep. I'm talking 20 Jeeps.
Do they have like communities? It's weird.
They park in the grass.
Well, yeah, they can. They can off-road.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I'm not going to give you a hard time about the truck, though.
Can I go back to being traumatized, wanting to go back and
about Mike McCarthy?
Look at text conversations. Like, did that really happen? Is Mike McCarthy the Steelers head coach?
I really didn't think they were actually going to do it. I didn't.
I don't know if I wanted Shula either.
No, you wanted Flores, right?
Yeah, probably.
Out of kind of the guys that were available.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're gonna have to start over.
They're gonna have to find a quarterback at some point. Like for all the credit McCarthy gets, he had Primer and Rodgers.
And I get it. McCarthy, Sean Payton, I should be fine because they're
virtually
identical. But
I would so here's
I
the
don't
thing.
want I don't want to run it back.
Here's the thing. I would rather have I'd rather have Sean, and this is easy to say, right? Because they just they almost played in the Super Bowl, but I'd rather have Sean Payton now that I know he can do it a different way than I would have when they hired him. I wasn't in love with the hiring of him when he went to Denver because I was like, kind of, what are we doing here? That's how I felt about the McCarthy. That's how I feel about the McCarthy
thing. Do you know what
thing
he
now.
was a victim of, though? Because he's clearly I thought he was a good coach when he got to Denver. It was the giving up draft picks and the trading for his prowess.
Yes, yeah. I thought the prowess was overstated.
So I was like, it's kind of like my Jeremiah Smith thing.
Sure.
Like, great player. But is he what we it's not his fault. He won't be what we think he is.
Is he better than Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Because he's not better than Carnell Tate.
Is he better than Mecca Ibuka? Is he better than pick a guy? Just pick a guy.
Just Tate wide. Is he your wide receiver one or you like Tyson?
He's probably
Mekhi Lemon. Is Mekhi Lemon too small for you to be RW1?
Mekhi Lemon is one of those guys.
WR1.
Mekhi Lemon's one of those guys that's going to fall to like mid-first round because they're like, he doesn't have wide receiver one size, and he's going to dominate the league for 12 years.
He's elite.
No, he's incredible. He's the only guy that's – what?
I watched him in warm-ups, and I was like, huh.
This is –
And he got erased.
By Sear. Sear said, you get nothing
he was
today.
Terrifying to watch his change of direction.
That was the one guy, and I ran into Michael Bruntz before that game, and we were talking about how he felt it was going to go, and he's walking in, and I'm going somewhere else. And I go, how you feeling? And he tells me a little bit, and he goes, what about you? And I go, Mekhi Lemon scares the shit out of me.
Dude, you should have watched that guy move.
I
mean, you talk about no bones in his body.
I will take my chances with Mekhi Lemon over any other wide receiver in this draft. I will take my chances.
I mean, that's a good pull, Jibs, with Amon-Ra, who I think is equally as mean-spirited.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had to do the draft over again, is Amon-Ra guy you draft as RW or WR1?
I got to look at where he went. I got to look at what the rest of the draft was.
Just size, the stature. Like, they don't take those guys.
That's my point, though.
They don't take those guys. And
those guys don't go number one.
And Tate is unconventional because he's not like the physical wow you.
It's the same thing we were talking about with corners. Like, people make this mistake
he's the
all
least,
the time.
He's the least OSU wide receiver coming out in a long time.
He went, oof. So Amon-Ra went, I forgot he went fourth round.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough. Let's see.
You think he's mean for no reason? Dude, he's an absolute menace. He hates everybody. He makes Steve Smith look like a nice dude.
Steve Smith is mean-spirited.
Dude, he's a terror.
Did you overlap with him at all?
Pardon?
You didn't overlap with him at all, did you? Steve Smith, that was after you?
No.
Okay.
I do know that Menor told me the two most certifiable teammates he ever played with was Steve Smith was one. And who was the interior lineman that he said lost his mind? It wasn't Chris Jenkins. It'll come to me.
So Jamar Chase went in that draft. That's hard to argue with. But you taking him over Jalen Waddle?
I don't know. Healthy Waddle's pretty sweet.
You take him over Devontae Smith?
Devontae Smith is in that discussion of doesn't need a babysitter, legit pro.
Just kind of does his business.
Devontae Smith is way better than his stats. He's playing with Jalen Hurts.
He's also one of those guys that typically doesn't get drafted as high as he did.
Tate's better than Valdez-Scantling. I get the frame, but Tate's a great route runner.
You take him over Kadarius Toney? Yes, I assume, obviously.
The way Tate can straighten you up and stem you, I don't know. He makes a ton of contested catches, which Valdez-Scantling has no idea what that is.
You take him over Rashad Bateman, obviously. You take him
I don't know. I mean,
you're not taking Ramon St. Brower over Rashad Bateman?
Now I am, but Bateman, I love Bateman coming out.
No, that's fine.
I'm not even going to cap. Like that.
But we're talking about now, like where he would be slotted now. Yeah,
I'd take Amon-Ra.
Elijah Moore.
Yes.
Who else we got here? Rondale Moore.
Yes. Who, by the way, talk about came and went.
Yeah. It can go fast.
Not to be confused with Maverick gas stations.
It can go fast for you.
Yeah, Valdez-Scantling. I get the frames because I saw Tate in Columbus. I watched him warm up.
Talk about came and went. Terrence Marshall.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are kind of nuts.
You know, for all the talent that's come out of those LSU wide receivers, there's only a couple that have actually. Jefferson and Chase.
No, I'm with you.
Like, there's only, like, the Alabama and Ohio State hit.
Although
the hit rate for Ohio State's way higher than everybody else.
There's one guy that's elated that May is in New England.
Who's that?
Bunda.
Oh, Butte?
Yeah.
Bunda. What are you doing?
Well, I almost said booty, but
that's
it's not booty.
I don't know. That's what everybody's been saying. I was like, isn't it Butte?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's just booty. Who's that wide receiver? Oh, he booty.
You eat Cam Ward? Yeah, so
I'm going to keep it a buck. We ass.
So I would go Lemon.
I'm taking Lemon. Wide receiver 1.
Tate.
I can deal with that.
Tyson.
Okay.
I like Concepcion at A&M.
Okay.
My 4 at first blush. Am I missing one?
I'm trying to think of who the draft eligible guys.
So I'd have to sort through the order. I would go in no particular order. Lemon, Tate, Tyson, Concepcion. There's a 5th in there somewhere.
You missing one?
Do I have to do 5?
No, you don't have to. I'm just whoever you like. I'm trying to find some.
I think Concepcion is going to be a great pro.
Okay, let me look here.
Is it KC? Yeah, KC Concepcion.
Yeah. So you're not crazy. I mean, I know Kuiper is whatever Kuiper is, but just to give us a list to go off of.
Okay.
He's got Concepcion at 7.
Who's ahead of him?
Tate, Tyson, and Lemon are 1, 2, 3. Tate's 1, Tyson's 2, Lemon's 3.
I'm surprised Tate gets that much love.
He's last mock draft I saw. He's like 4th overall pick.
He said, "I'm gonna keep it." Jib said, "I'm gonna keep it a buck. We bootay."
I'm gonna keep it a buck. We Kyson. He's got Zachariah Branch at 4.
Branch would be my 5.
Branch is good.
Branch would be my 5.
He's good.
I think he's nuts.
Sure. But
shoot, man, Branch is spectacular.
He's really good. Plus, he gives you a little bit extra if you want to do like some special team stuff and
elite level quickness.
Yeah, 100%. He's the only.
He's 5. He's 5 for me. Who's his 5?
If I'm being honest,
how do we get on wide receivers?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, Branch is probably the only guy that scares me as much as Lemon. Like, if I'm the other team, I'm like, that guy terrifies me.
Jordan Tyson's pretty good.
Totally fine. That's fine. His 5 are Tate, Tyson, Lemon, Branch, and then Denzel Boston at Washington.
I like Boston. Boston would make probably my honorable mention. Big body.
And then he's got.
There's just something weird about watching him wear 12.
He's got.
I like Boston, though.
He's got Brazel at 6 from Tennessee.
Mm-mm.
And then Concepcion at 7.
Not a natural pass catcher.
Bernard from Bama at 8.
Okay.
Jacoby Lane at 9 from USC.
So I wonder what he's going to run.
And then
his body control is exceptional.
And then Chris Bell at 10 from Louisville. I'm a big body control guy for receivers.
Lane, and
especially at wide receiver, when I've seen so many guys that run like 4.68s.
You've seen enough Nakuas in your time.
Yeah, that I'm just like, I don't care. Like, unless that's the only thing you can do.
Like, Puka Nacua gets open.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, open.
Wes Welker got open for.
So those guys that work in the slot, and
it's a little
I get
different.
it.
It's a little different.
No, and I get it, right? Because ARIF, why I like him is because he's a super nerd.
Yeah, he's smart. He knows what he's talking about.
So when he starts talking about like Nacua getting open from B gap,
yeah, he'll differentiate.
He does though. They put him in short motion like he's a lead blocker.
Yeah,
and they have run action, and dude's open by like 6 years.
Yeah. So like
I don't even know how he gets out.
So
backs can't even get out.
That's why I look, and I'll give this when he was talking about the Rams being way ahead on some things. One of the things that they track that other teams I think have started to because of Puka Nacua is they have a way of analyzing like in-game speed, like the miles per hour.
Yeah, because if you watch
Nacua in-game, they're like, yeah, he was like top 3 in the class wide receiver speed-wise.
Did you see Woolen not be able to cut him off on that wheel route?
Yeah.
Nice angle.
It's because he's faster than people think. Like Nakua's faster.
He runs like it hurts.
Nacua?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does. But like that's why I don't really care what Jacoby.
This isn't a great wide receiver class.
There's 6 guys you like.
But they're not elite.
Okay. I think there's 3 guys that at least 3 guys that could be.
I can't even get people to say Tate was the best receiver on his own team.
I mean, I think he was. I don't think that's controversial, but it's because people are obsessed with Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith in 2 years in Columbus has at no point been the best wide receiver on his team. Ibuka was better than him last year. Tate was better than him this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate. I mean, you just look at Jeremiah Smith. He looks like.
I get it. He looks the part.
He looks.
You know who we haven't even. You know who we haven't even talked about yet. Speaking of guys who look super freaky of Ohio State wide receivers.
Who's that?
Marvin Harrison.
So he's not even wide receiver 1 now.
I know, but if you want to talk about
I mean, that's probably Wilson, right?
Yeah. But if you want to talk about guys that look freaky, Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like a freak show.
I want to say something so bad, but
go for it. You can say whatever you want. It's the internet.
Didn't give me elite level NFL vibes when I watched his act at Big Ten Media Days. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna fly.
He gives off very strange vibes. I don't understand him at all.
But I let it ride because, his dad was so tough.
Well, his dad also wasn't physically what he is.
Well, he was.
No, he was. But I
I'm not talking about car wash, pull up on you tough. He is kind of hood, but I mean tough.
He did have a little incident after his playing career.
Allegedly.
Don't forget, give our guys a call over at Next Gen Male Medical. They've got you covered no matter what you need. NextGenMaleMedicalClinic.com. You can schedule an appointment, see what services they have available. They got DB covered. They got me covered. Got a little knee thing. I might need some of that BPC that you've been talking about. Felt a little something inside the knee.
You just copy it.
Nah, I know. Well, see, you got the 500. Now I need to get on the 157. Just having a little competition here. But no, make sure you get out there and check them out. They've got you covered. Give them a call, 402-614-9700. That's DB. I'm Ravi. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.